Good morning. We're talking about Trump and Kim Jong-un. We're having a fun discussion before this.
Great.
We should never have those before.
I know.
But it's hard not to. We're all friends. We're just yapping.
We're just human beings.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, save it for the air.
No, I can't do that.
Let's save our... let's get our bullet points ready.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to do that.
Yeah.
It's hard to do
okay. Nope, don't give me your take yet. I'm going to... Okay. No, I'll start with...
Matt Serra's like that. We do UFC Unfiltered.
Yeah.
And we try not to, because you don't want to, it's hard to have the same, when you're having honest discussion, it's hard to have the same fucking point hit twice. But literally, if any of us say anything about the fights, like, man, that fucking fight, save it for the air! You know, he likes it. It's crazy. But he's right, kind of. Because then you don't burn a good chat.
Yeah, I guess. But we're also... the beauty of this show is all of us in here are kind of idiots when it comes to world politics, so it's not like we're using any real great stuff.
We're no dumber than... You know what? The rest of them who think they're smart, they've been wrong about everything so far.
100% right.
So when people say that, and they're probably right to say that, we are dopes with it. What all these people that are quote-unquote experts are fucking 0 for 600.
Right, they're wrong all the time.
Fuck all of them.
Yeah.
It's like being a weatherman. You're no weatherman. Well, yeah, well, you are, and you're wrong half the time. Fuck you and your barometer.
Right. Well, I have a degree in meteorology.
Exactly, and it's raining, cunt.
Right, exactly.
You said it was going to be nice, and it's raining.
6 inches of snow, huh? Good prediction.
Yeah.
Good.
So
keep pointing to the green screen.
There are no, and what we're talking about is the way Trump is handling this Kim Jong-un, and he's being fairly... praising of it. And
you want to hear the clip?
I do want to hear the clip.
To bring everybody up to speed.
Oh, Melania looks good. Holy shit.
Even after that kidney surgery. Well, do you think...
God damn, is she beautiful.
Do you think that this is Melania or body double Melania? Remember there was that conspiracy theory that there was body double Melania. And do you first of all, do you think that Melania or body double Melania had kidney surgery? And second, who do you think came out of that kidney surgery? Is this Melania? Or is it body double Melania?
It might be body double, though, because she's saying, can we have something other than MSNBC on here? I can't look at these fucking chyrons.
I don't know.
No. Trump dismisses Kim's brutality. I can't.
You don't want to hear what Joe and Mika have to say?
I can't even read the chyron. It just irritates me.
Because you know what's going on.
Because I know that, and I know Fox will have another one. I just can't stomach the obviousness of it.
Whoa, are Joe and Mika in 2 separate places? They're split screened.
Yeah.
I wonder if Joe is making sure that Mika's a good girl.
Probably is.
Bunch of sexual talk going via satellite.
I'll bet you there is on the break. She probably has to bend over and open her lips and make sure she hasn't been penetrated.
Okay,
that's pretty hot.
That's a lot. We went real far there, real quick.
That's how I would test a dirty girl. That's what I would do.
That's why relationships are tough for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always like, but I kind of hope they have been bed.
That's right. That's right. You'd like to see. Troy, I think you're changing the TV on the channel.
You can put anything
behind you.
This is supposed to be set up.
No, I know, but I want that. I don't want to see this.
I know.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be set up before we start.
If it makes you feel any better, my headphones weren't on when I put them on.
Yeah, well, who did wait, did Anthony do this too?
Anthony didn't do it.
Why?
We need to do the...
Oh my God, why didn't you... This was set up before, you know that.
It usually is. And he leaves.
Usually is. He just goes,
Piece of shit excuse.
Usually is, and walks out.
Yeah.
And then now that TV's all snowy.
Yeah.
Because while you were doing that
Troy was doing the best he could.
No, I know.
It's not Troy's fault.
It's not Troy's fault.
It's not his job.
It's a little operator error. Not on Troy's...
No, it's not Troy's job.
No. Oh, wait, Troy, now you're changing both TVs at the same time.
It's fine. I sent Shitloaf in to do his job.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I don't have any, like, what's the word I'm looking for?
There it is.
Mother? Oh.
I don't have any mother.
Sorry.
Sorry. You can't say sorry through crying laughter.
I know.
Because you can tell he's not that sorry.
I am, though.
I can.
I am. I love Travis.
Right. But you're happy that the joke was made.
I literally haven't been prouder of myself in 6 months.
No. You're happy I stumbled?
Oh, boy.
I couldn't figure out my words?
Stumbles are the best.
Right.
Well, it gives you an in.
That's right.
It does.
Yeah.
I think Travis is looking for the word patience.
That's, yes.
Patience. But your guess was good, too.
Yeah. No, that's a fair guess.
Mine felt better coming out.
Yeah. By the way, it was nice of Handsome Rob. Obviously, he saw that Anthony, had some troubles.
Sure.
So he ran all the way up the hall just to check and make sure everything was okay.
Good for Rob.
Good for him. Good for him.
Before we do this, my cabbie on the way, I got it nice and early today because of course Uber was a 7-minute wait. Like there's something going on. Maybe there's just so many people using it, or this time of year it's busy. But
it's weird because there's not that much traffic today, so I don't know why.
There was a lot crossing town though. Like, going uptown is never bad. It's always where do I fucking cross from the east side to the west? And of course you should do it at Grand Central, because why wouldn't you?
Of course.
So I take just a regular cab, and I thought of you. This is how fucking this show permeates my stupid life.
That's right.
I'm crossing. I saw someone get dropped off. I'm like, I'll never make it. But then they caught the light, and I fucking marathon manned it up First Avenue. And I finally got into the cab, and I made it. I was very happy with myself. And then this dumb cunt takes 42nd Street to cross. And it's not moving, so we had to jump off, and it was just a nightmare.
And you thought of how funny I would think it was?
Well, you would have thought it was funny that I actually ran and got it. I would have disappointed you.
No, it would have been awful. I would have been watching from like a store window. Like if I saw somebody running across the street for a cab and I was in a Starbucks, like looking out the window, I'd be like, oh my God, drive. Ah!
Would you laugh if you saw me running for a cab and I tripped and dropped something and skinned up my clothes and got hurt?
You ripped holes in your pants that you love so much. It'd be awesome. Because you'd be so pissed, but also in pain.
Yeah.
And panicking.
You might need stitches.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
I've had stitches in a long fucking time. Fuck, stitches blow.
Yeah, they do. I saw Jim last night at Doug Loves Movies there at the Gramercy, and I told you that I was really, what was in my head as I was playing out the scenario was how great it would have been if when you were running for the cab yesterday that you missed, if you had tripped and fallen into a puddle.
Oh yeah,
it would have been the greatest, because then you would have come in. I don't need you to be hurt physically.
Sure.
But if you come into the studio and you're all angry because you missed your cab and the Uber driver left you, and also you're all wet from city water, street water.
It's the worst.
The best shit ever.
There's nothing worse than getting splashed with city water.
And that's the beginning of the day. Yep. That's how you're starting things.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's the best.
Last night was fun. Ronnie did it. I did. Nikki, he was good too. Nikki Glazer's, I forget his name. He's
Tom.
Tom, he's really funny, man. He was Nikki Glazer's, I guess, on-air partner.
Yeah,
and,
Doug Loves Movies. Yeah, it was Bennington, Tom from Nikki and Tom.
Show, which they're on 10 to noon on Comedy Central.
Jim and myself and Mark Normand.
Yeah.
We're all there playing Doug Loves Movies and answering the questions and doing all that. It's a really easy and fun show to do.
It is a very, very fun show.
No pressure.
Doug's a good host.
Yeah,
it's silly. The fans are great.
The audience
fans
loves
are
it.
really great. They show up with fucking signs.
Yeah.
They're more movie fans than stand-up fans, but they're great fans of that podcast. It's a fun show, man.
Yeah, it's a very fun show to do.
Enjoyable.
You want to hear?
I do.
Okay, so we'll go to Trump 1, I believe. I put my sheet there. It is. Yes, Trump 1.
Conference a number of different times and different ways.
It's Brett Baer.
About human rights, and that you called this relationship really good, and that he was a very talented person. You call people sometimes killers. He is a killer. I mean, he's clearly executing people.
He's a tough guy. Hey, when you take over a country, tough country, with tough people, and you take it over from your father, I don't care who you are, what you are, how much of an advantage you have. If you can do that at 27 years old, that's 1 in 10,000 that could do that. So he's a very smart guy. He's a great negotiator. But I think we understand each other.
Hang on, you can hit pause there.
I 100% understand why Trump is saying that. And the fact that the fucking cunty media, well, he's a killer, we know. We know.
Don't you think?
We know.
When you've got somebody who's only complimenting him, like Trump hasn't acknowledged any previous indiscretions since the meeting and has been overly complimentary. Like he's very similar to what Dennis Rodman was sounding like when he came from North Korea. I don't have any problem with this. I'm very glad that the meeting happened.
Sure.
Trump's the guy that got it done.
100%.
His strategy's been working.
So far, yeah.
But don't you get the criticism that he could maybe acknowledge a little more that he's been a very poorly behaved young man?
No, because what we should do is every fucking time he meets with the Chinese president, mention how naughty they are. Every single time we deal with fucking Saudi Arabia, mention their human rights violations. Every single time we deal with the Middle Eastern ally, it's like...
I think we should bring that stuff up.
I know, but I'm saying like every time we deal with fucking Pakistan. Pakistan's a quote-unquote ally, and we still have to sneak into their country. They were hiding bin Laden the whole time. Every fucking time we talk about those shitheads, we should be mentioning their barbarous. We don't do it with people who are doing what we want. So I don't care how he talks. I don't give a fuck what he says about Kim Jong-un. Just take care of this mess that no one's been able to handle.
But when he's making public statements,
I don't care. You know what? This kid's 27. He took over. Whatever his father was. It's an awful regime. He's probably awful too. But
he's definitely awful.
But see what happens in this situation.
Well, he's not new. Like, it's not like Kim Jong-un just jumped in.
No, but he's
been there for years.
I don't think you walk into that situation. I'm not saying he's not a shitty dictator either.
He definitely is.
But when you take over that situation, I don't know how much ability you have to all of a sudden change the way things have been done for 60 years.
Well, it doesn't.
I don't know.
It doesn't appear that he's made any moves, except for right now, to try to change anything in general.
He's gotten rid of a lot of his higher up military people.
But he also killed his brother.
Again, I don't give a fuck about that. So what? So what? Big deal. I don't give a shit about that. Fucking. So what? I mean, the Russians were behind the Vietnamese. We were behind the Vietnamese, and we were killing each other. You know, they were killing our soldiers through Vietnam. I don't care about any of this shit. I don't care if he killed his brother.
Well, I don't think this. There's a big difference in what's happening in North Korea when you've got a guy who's been killing and starving his own people for a long time. You know, I mean, that should be acknowledged.
It has been, though. Trump has acknowledged that. Trump humiliated him worse than anybody who's humiliated a North Korean leader.
You think Rocket Man did not go over well?
No. And he also threatened him. Like, people got mad at Trump because he was too harsh. And now they're saying he's too nice. So far,
but don't you think he was too harsh and is too nice?
No.
Like, there's no nuance.
But you don't need nuance. Obama's a brilliant guy. He tried nuance. You know what got us? Fucking shit. Bush is not as dumb as people thought he was. His nuance got us nothing. Mm-hmm. Sometimes nuance is, we give other people too much credit in the world. That the subtle, arrogant nuance of the U.S. will get everybody moving. And sometimes you just got to speak your mind. You got a button? Mine's bigger, motherfucker. Oh, yeah, that's right.
At no point did I think that was a bad move.
But you know what I mean?
Like, I thought it was great.
It was great. There was no nuance there. It sent the message, if you fuck around, I'm going to squash you. Mm-hmm. And you know what? It got him to the table. Or at least made him think enough to get him to the table. Now he's at the table.
I agree with that 100%.
So if we don't want a guy who's a nuclear problem threat, it's more about threatening Japan. He's not going to nuke the fucking West Coast.
No.
We're more worried about him attacking South Korea and attacking Japan. Although he was firing missiles over Japan.
And let's be honest, if North Korea ever attacked anybody, it would be,
of course,
they would get one missile out, and then they would be blown off the face of the earth. And they know that.
And they know that. It would be a terrible move. So he threatens him, and now he uses some diplomacy, and he's using a little psychology, and it's working. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's a little more than diplomacy.
But he's got him to the table. He's the first U.S. president to meet with a North Korean leader since the end of the armistice, whatever the fuck it is.
That's right.
I give him some credit for that. Even people who hate Trump, whoever's idea this was, it's working. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't need him to scold Kim Jong-un. I'm tired of the U.S. scolding people. Can we stop pretending that we're not as fucking dirty? Yeah, I know we don't do what he does with our own people.
We're better than North Korea.
Of course we are. But so what? We've also been involved with people who are just as shitty. We couldn't suck Saddam Hussein's dick fast enough when he was fighting in the 80s against Iran.
But clearly that came back to bite us, didn't it?
No.
I mean, we ended up going to war with the guy.
That came to bite us.
Right.
That came back to bite us, pretending that we gave a shit about fucking Kuwait when it was really Saudi Arabia we were worried about.
And I think that historically has come back to be a critical point of ours. No, like nobody sits there and goes like, oh yeah, it's good that we didn't say anything about Saddam Hussein back then.
No, what came back to bite us was all of a sudden pretending that we thought he was naughty. Like when he was fucking enemies with Iran and we were friendly with him, there was no issue. Who cared? He wasn't fucking with us. But when he goes into Kuwait and thereby threatens Saudi Arabia and we go over there, that's all of a sudden when we're fucking full of shit. And that to me is when we went wrong. That's my opinion on it.
But you know that's looked back. Nobody looks back on that and says like, yeah, that was the right thing to do. They look back on that and saying we shouldn't have been involved with Saddam Hussein from the beginning.
No, I think they're saying we should have went into Iraq. And I was for the Iraq war when it happened.
You mean more recently?
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't care that we were involved with him.
Don't you think there's a difference though between openly scolding someone and overly praising?
Yeah, I understand that, but again, he's we
don't have to operate in one extreme or the other.
No, but that's how he is, and so far the one operating in one extreme or the other, I think, is the thing that made this happen. So yeah, on the other side, if he overly praises him now, I don't mind it because it was the fact that he told him I have a bigger nuclear weapon button than you do that probably got this guy to go, all right, this is a different situation than I had last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think that it's just unconventional because Trump, like we said, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, handles this all like a businessman. He's the first time ever. People have always said we want a businessman president. He's the first person to ever actually handle these meetings like a CEO, in the sense that he doesn't actually mean the things that he's saying. You know what I mean? It's strategy.
Yeah,
like
most of it is, sure.
He doesn't. You couldn't mean the things that he's saying because they're opposite. Like, you know what I mean? You're within a month, it's one extreme to the next extreme. And you're right in the sense that that's clearly a negotiation tactic. Like that's exactly what happens in business.
And when this guy can go back to North Korea and all of his I mean, look, Mike Pence almost wrecked this with his big fucking mouth.
Well, look,
with this,
I don't think anybody's sitting there going like, if only we had somebody like Mike Pence or Rudy Giuliani sitting in that chair.
But do you understand, like, that the stuff that you say publicly does matter because you're dealing with a dictator, and the fact when Mike Pence, and it might be like Libya, he almost ruined everything. So yeah, if Trump is going out and praising him more than he should, and not, we don't need to scold him for his human rights violation. We know the guy's a piece of shit. It's a shit country. When our job is not to go in there and tell him how naughty he is. We're trying to fix a situation so that he's not endangering South Korea, and he's not endangering Japan.
But I think Travis is right that it's not so much he needs to be scolded more. It's a little less with the compliments.
Yeah, by the same token, yeah, we don't need to scold him. You're right. But we also don't need to prop him up as this, great guy and dismiss the bad things he's done. There has to be a middle ground. Otherwise, all we're doing is he's just fueling the propaganda machine that North Korea has. They're just going to take these clips from Trump and use them and show their people. Kim Jong-un's not standing in front of North Korea talking about how amazing and awesome and totally amazing, Donald Trump is.
I bet you that he will go back.
He already did.
And say things about how it was better than he thought, and how he has to spin it
right,
too.
And
but
it's better than he thought isn't the same as what Trump
right, that's what Trump should be doing. That actually went very much better than I thought. We have our differences.
But that's how Trump speaks. Like that's almost like that's the way he talks about everything.
But then do you think people can
it's great. Like that's his way of expressing
so
himself.
It's okay for people to be critical of that though, no?
I don't it's a silly criticism because unless we're going to do it with everyone we deal with, shut up about North Korea. We get it. We already know he's fucked up. I just don't want to hear it. The U.S. is we're too quick to forgive people who do what we want them to do.
You should never have brought up that thing where the problem you pointed out, you saying that.
We all do it, yeah. And I know it's an
and saying that you didn't want to do it anymore.
I just want consistency. That's what I'm saying. I'm not.
But you even want consistency if it's negative.
Sure. Why not? How about some honesty? Like, it'd be nice to have an honest consistency. But don't you think if it's with other countries?
If it's negative, right? Don't you think we should just call it out every time, and that should be the consistency? You know what I mean?
We could do that, sure, but we won't. We won't, and we won't. And plus, there's a strategy to this that I actually think will work, or is working so far. If it was backfiring, yeah. But if something is working, people just like to fucking complain and criticize. Like, everyone bitched that the guy was too negative about Kim Jong-un. Oh my God, he's not diplomatic enough. He's threatening him. Oh no.
Yeah, you didn't find me bitching about that.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying, but
I know. I'm just saying in general.
People were doing that.
Yes, they were.
Oh my God. Don't taunt him. And then all of a sudden, he does it. It works. Fucking cunty Mike Pence, the career politician, puts his fucking dick in his own dumb mouth. Almost ruins it. Stupid fucking Rudy Giuliani, who is this mayor who's like got political experience. He was begging. He's kneeling. This dumb cunt says something stupid. Trump is the one who it actually works, gets the meeting, and now he's praising him maybe more than he should. Yeah, that's fair. But it's the way that they're throwing it into all the questions. Well, he's a dictator. Shouldn't you shut the fuck up? Who cares? I don't need him to be scolded. I don't need us to weigh in with the asterisk. We know he's done naughty things. We know. We fucking know it.
Yeah, I know, but you're going because I think that there is most people, or not most people. There are a lot of people, specifically in media, that are just criticizing everything Trump does. Like, that's pretty clear.
And it's in their questions. It's like when they're talking about the progress made or any progress made, and it's like, well, we know that he's a dictator. We know.
But the fact that Trump should be getting more credit for not only being the only president that's been able to do this, but I think that you would agree with me. I don't think anybody else. This isn't the timing. This is him. Like, I don't think if Trump wasn't the president right now, we wouldn't be having this meeting.
We absolutely would not.
And he does deserve way more credit for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's not to say at the same time he can calm down with some of these compliments for this dude.
Again, he said a couple of nice things about how he's tough. He took over. He's 27. Again, maybe, but it doesn't bother me that he said. I don't give a fuck. That doesn't move me either way either. I don't care what he's saying. And all these Republicans in Congress don't trust North Korea. Shut the fuck up. You guys have gotten nothing done.
Right.
Shut up.
Right.
What the fuck do Republicans in Congress have to weigh in for? Or you put your collective dumb heads together and got nothing done in this situation.
Well, they got to talk in circles for a while.
Yeah, exactly. And the Democrats too. All of you, with all of your decades of experience, got zero fucking done with this situation.
It really is amazing.
So shut the fuck up.
It really is
now
amazing.
They're all weighing in.
It's been one strategy the whole
fuck
time.
Up.
No, you should go back to doing it our way. Like, really?
Yeah.
Let's hear the rest of that Trump clip.
All right.
And he's still done some really bad things.
Yeah, but so have a lot of other people done some really bad things. I mean, I could go through a lot of nations where a lot of bad things were done. Now, look, with all of that being said, the answer is yes. I'm going from today. I'm going from maybe 90 days ago, because we really started this. We got a call that he was going to the Olympics. He would like to go to the Olympics, and that was sort of the beginning of what we have right now. And we're very far down the line. You saw the agreement. Nobody thought we were going to have an agreement like that. And things were given to me, as you know from the news conference, things were given to me, Brett, that were not even part of the agreement. I got them after we had signed the agreement.
I don't think anybody knows how to deal with this either. You know, because Trump is supposed to just be a big boob.
Yeah.
So I don't think that people know exactly how to deal with the fact that you're right. This is successful.
It is, but even Trump said, yeah, but a lot of nations, like, that's my point. Of course they have. Every time we're mentioned in the Japanese media, they should mention us nuking them. Or every time we talk about Japan, we should talk about that. But after a while, you're like, all right, we did it, we moved forward.
Pearl Harbor was a lot more, World War II was a while ago as compared to Kim Jong-un.
Not that much. No, but when it comes to Korea, the problems between World War II and Korea, I mean, was not that
But we're
big
talking about what Kim Jong-un is doing to his people, like, within the last couple of months, not what happened in World War II.
But still, like, what's the time difference? Like, when do you let
Decades.
that go? Okay, but, you know, we're still kind of negotiating. When we negotiated, we ended the war.
And that was retaliation, too. That wasn't just...
Well, yeah, we should still be talking about the way they treated their own people. I mean, the Japanese were barbaric to fucking... I want to say it was Koreans. I think it was Koreans.
We weren't that great to Japanese people either.
No.
Were we?
No.
We built a bunch of camps for them, didn't we?
That's the point I'm making. We should just shut our faces. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing right now. He's trying to make a situation better. He's protecting our allies. He's protecting Japan by doing this. He's protecting South Korea's interest by doing this.
I think it's gonna come out in the wash, meaning that if this goes successfully, none of this is going to matter because this was clearly strategy. And if it doesn't go successfully, it'll come back and bite him in the ass. But everything's going to bite him in the ass anyway.
If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's not going to make things worse. We're already enemies with them. We're literally still at war with North Korea.
Yeah, we were on the brink of nuclear war.
He was threatening to fire missiles on at the West Coast. There's no way Trump's going to make this worse. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Negotiations break down. But you know what? It almost fell through, and it still happened. This is not about being pro-Trump. This is just people complaining for the sake of complaining, even when something seems to be working better than people thought it would.
I think it's a shock to... Here's the issue. Like, the issue is that some of these people are so far to one side or the other that it becomes really difficult to have an honest conversation. But I think there are some people that are a little bit... It's a bit of a shock to the system to all of a sudden hear only complimentary things about a guy who we've heard a lot of negative things about. I think that's part of it.
Yeah.
Right?
I think it's fair to criticize it when he says stuff like he loves his people. Like, he puts them in camps.
Yeah, Kim Jong-un does not love his people.
So for our president to say, no, this guy loves his people, no, dude, he doesn't. There's camps.
Now that's...
What do they do to deserve the kid?
That's true. We don't know the whole story. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know all that stuff, and I'm sure that's correct.
Although maybe North Korea is like this Trump. He won't even let these goddamn football players take a rest. They just want to kneel down for a second.
Down, praise their country.
Yeah, what the hell?
I just don't care about it. And it's not because simply we're friends with too many shitty people. So stop pretending that all of a sudden we have a fucking moral compass. That's what drives me nuts. Like with Cuba, we didn't get our way. Castro told us to go fuck ourselves.
That's right.
And now all of a sudden Americans can't go to Cuba. Why?
I think I think
go to China.
There should be a little more of we got to sit back and watch how this thing plays out.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty unprecedented what's going on right now with North Korea. You know? Let's go to Anita in North Carolina. What's up, Anita?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good evening.
I've got a question. I've got a question for Sam.
Okay.
Did you feel the same way when Obama kind of praised whoever was the Shah, not the Shah, whoever it was over in Iran at the time that whole nuclear shit show, was also getting arranged? And furthermore, besides the question, I just want to make a statement. At least for the 3 guys that got out of prison from North Korea, we didn't have to send over a pallet of U.S. currency in the middle of the night to some airstrip that was prearranged.
That's also for the 3 guys before that. I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that they might have accidentally killed an American in jail.
Yeah, I think that was really.
Otto Warmbier had a lot to do with it too.
Yeah,
but again, I think the fact that they might have accidentally killed an American in jail while Trump was the president is the big thing. Yeah. Because they're going like, Obama we could push around. Bush isn't going to send any nuclear weapons. Clinton's not. But Trump is going to fire a goddamn missile at this country. We got to relax.
Yeah, and he indicated that he would do that.
He did. And he did it.
Well, and I think.
Go ahead, Anita.
And I think a lot of the liberals, there's memes going around now that, some of the more liberal people, and I fall on both sides depending what the issue is, are almost kind of disappointed that the nuclear proliferation didn't get ratcheted up with North Korea, because it would have given them an excuse, say, hey, now we got to get Trump out of there.
Everybody's like that.
There's just...
Everybody's like that.
Yeah,
the conservatives wanted to see Obama fucking fall on his dick too. Nobody roots for him. We all love to watch the guy we don't like fail.
That's because it means we're right somehow.
Exactly.
Right?
It validates us.
Sure. That's human nature. And Jim, when are you going to come down to the Raleigh area?
I haven't been there. I haven't been there in a while. I love being down in Raleigh. I don't know why I haven't done that club in a while. I will get down there before the end of the year. That's a great gig. I have not gone down there in a while.
Thank you, Anita.
Yeah, David Tell is here this weekend. So,
is he down there? Is it what club? Is it Good Nights?
Yeah, Good Nights. Yeah. It's no longer called Charlie Goodnights, but I keep waiting to hear you announce a Raleigh.
Yeah, I don't know why I haven't. There's really no reason. I worked there with Richard Jenny the first time I went down there. It was many years ago. I was scheduled to, I think, feature, and then Jenny was there, but he had brought his own guy with him, but he still let me go on the shows, even though he didn't have to.
Right.
He was really. That was my first time meeting Richard Jenny.
Thank you, Anita.
2000.
Yeah. You're welcome. Have a good day, guys.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah, and as far as Obama and Iran, I don't think Obama should be complimenting leaders in Iran either.
But they all do it. And somebody on Twitter raised
and I don't think we should be doing anything with the Saudis at this point.
Yeah, exactly. They're awful.
Like I have trouble with the narrative. Same reason I have a little bit of trouble. Not an extreme amount of trouble, but a little devil's advocate, but also a little bit of trouble with what Trump is doing, complimenting Kim Jong-un. I don't think that we should be sitting there going like, oh, the Saudis are doing so great. Women just got the right to drive. How is that great? You know what I mean?
Right, but we should be criticizing them every time we talk about them.
It's a turn in the right direction, but it's not great by any stretch.
Somebody said on Twitter, should other countries be bringing up our atrocities, the genocide of... yeah, the U.S. has our fucking fingernails are dirty too. That's another reason I don't like hearing this, like how we should be scolding him. I know we're it's a couple hundred years ago, but we're also the ones who've been running around with a trumpet yelling about how great we are and this is the way you should live.
We are the greatest. We're great again.
We are great, but we're also dickheads.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you can compare anything America's doing to its citizens to what these other countries were talking about.
Not at this point. I mean, at this point, you can't.
Of course not.
But a couple hundred years ago, you absolutely can.
Well, I think
and we had a constitution.
If you're sitting there going like, okay, we got to give leaders a chance to turn over a new leaf, and you're saying we have to bring up what happened 200 years ago?
No, but the point I'm making is, back then we were the same as we are now, talking about how we have freedom for everybody, and literally. We, there's slavery ends, and then for 100 years afterwards, people are mistreated. Like, we're more full of shit than most countries are, so we're just in no position.
Say that.
We are more full of shit. At least North Korea is honest about what it is. Everyone knows what North Korea
is not honest. The people around North Korea are honest. North Korea lies completely about what they are.
But we all know what they are.
We do.
They know what they are. We know what they are. They're the same as they've been.
But we didn't get that information from them. They don't. They're completely fabricate who they are.
they're behaving no differently than they did 60 or 70 years ago.
Right, and we're not.
No, we claim to be one way and we're not. That's what bugs me with the U.S. We claim for a long time to be one way and we're just not that way.
What do you mean?
Oh, equal rights for everyone and this and that. And we always find a way to make one group feel like shit. Again, it's a hypocritical. I love the U.S., but I'm tired of us telling everybody else how naughty they are. The U.S. scolding, like this whole scolding culture started here. This whole fucking, hey.
Right. We're the world police.
We're the one, hey. This whole scolding thing that we just got to stop doing. Stop pretending that we're better than everyone and stop pretending that we give a fuck what other countries do.
We're better than North Korea.
We are better than North Korea as far as that's concerned.
I mean, I can't think of one way we wouldn't be considered better than
North Korea's not going into any other countries. North Korea hasn't entered another country. North Korea is not going into other countries under the guise of giving them freedom and telling them what to do. That's one way. That's the only way they're probably better than we are.
Let's go to Wayne in Florida. What's up, Wayne?
Hey, guys. How you doing? Good morning. Sam, listen, I have a bone to pick with you, man. And for the last few weeks, I've been listening to you going, oh, Trump, he's doing great. I mean, I don't really mind the guy, this and that, trying to normalize the guy who we basically know is a con man and a scumbag. Look, Kim Jong-un was never going to fire a missile here, or we were never going to go into nuclear war. You guys have said that before yourselves. No one was going to nuclear war. Kim Jong wants the spotlight, man. The best thing to do with this guy is ignore him. He hates being ignored. He wants to be in the cameras. He wants to take pictures. We have our president. God, I hate saying that. We have our president basically taking pictures with the biggest human rights violator since Hitler, dude. This cannot be normalized, bro. This is all a freaking con from both sides. And Kim is getting exactly what he wants, bro. He's getting the world spotlight. And we have Trump praising this guy, man. I mean, I just don't understand, Sam. Please enlighten me.
And by the way, someone saw on Twitter, this is how funny people are so biased and like split. Someone's like, Jim's sucking Trump's dick on a daily basis. Sorry, I guess I should go with the narrative and just bash him on a daily basis. When he does stuff I don't like, I disagree with him. When he does stuff I like, I praise him. Sorry, Glenn. Sorry, I'm not 100%. Not you, buddy. I'm addressing somebody on Twitter. Sorry, I'm just apologizing for not being 100% zealot one way or the other. Apologize.
Well, I think that people, to go back to your question, Wayne, I am critical of what he's doing with Kim Jong-un in terms of how he's describing him now. I'm not critical of him, taking this meeting or creating this meeting. I think it's a good thing that he's taken this meeting the same way, because we're going to have our thumb over North Korea now. And if we are involved in North Korea's affairs, Kim Jong-un is not going to be able to get away with anything that he's been getting away with in terms of how he treats his own people. Like, it's just not going to be able to happen anymore. So I think that that's the point with that. But yeah, I kind of disagree with Jim in the sense that, Kim Jong-un and North Korea are not just like every other country.
And maybe when you step into, I don't know what that world is like, obviously, but maybe when you step into that world and you take over that country.
But why are you giving him the benefit of a doubt?
I'm just because I don't know. It's easy to sit here and go, well, yeah, but this is the way it is because he has made a move. He has done something that his father didn't do and his father's father didn't do.
You're going from one space going like, well, we can't forget what we did 200 years ago. To the next space being like Kim Jong-un took a meeting, so maybe he's actually pretty good.
Not saying that. What I'm saying is we're in no position to all of a sudden morally police everybody else because we were morally policing everybody else while we were behaving this way. While half our citizens could do one thing, half our citizens couldn't, or 13%, whatever the fucking percentage is. We moralize when we were in no position to do it, and it annoys me. It's the quality about us I hate the most.
But if you're not forgiving America for...
I'm not forgiving us. I'm just saying I love America. There's nowhere in the world I'd rather live here. Of course I forgive us, but I'm just saying I'm honest about who I think we are. I'm not knocking us. We're imperfect.
I don't think anybody's saying we're perfect.
No, we're imperfect. I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody would disagree that America is imperfect. But North Korea is a shit show. It's not imperfect. It's like one of the worst places in the world.
That's okay. We've come from a place where we were also fucking horrible. Horrible. And we had, at one point, we had a constitution. And we still were fucking horrible. We had a Bill of Rights. We were still fucking horrible.
Yeah, but that wasn't 2 weeks ago.
No, it wasn't.
And it was in North Korea.
Yeah, it was.
So, I mean, don't you think that there's a big difference there? That wasn't even in our lifetime.
North Korea is not considered the world's North Korea is not considered the moral arbiter of the entire planet. We consider ourselves the fucking running around shoving our way of life down everybody's throat and not even practicing it here half the time or sometimes.
Well, you're not going to find a country that doesn't have an ugly history, right?
Probably not, no.
Right. That has any sort of power. Like maybe some of these, like, you know, super peaceful countries that don't really do anything, that aren't in charge.
Probably not. Yeah, you're probably not going to find one that doesn't have the power.
So, I mean, in terms of world policing, if somebody's got to do it, I don't think America's more full of shit than anybody else. I think we're probably maybe less.
No, I think we're more. We're not saying we're worse, but we are more full of shit. We are more full of shit because of the way we run around telling everybody how naughty they are and how we don't like the way you're treating your citizens, and we don't like the way, and it's like, shut the fuck up.
The hypocritical stuff is the other countries we deal with. It
drives me nuts. It's the one thing I hate about us.
But I mean, the way we're treating our citizens here
is wonderful compared to, of course it is.
Yeah.
But you know how if one person tweets one thing, they get in trouble, and if another person tweets
but that has nothing to do with the country. That's just like
the mentality of people here. That is absolutely the mentality of people here. That's who we are.
I think that I'd rather have to worry about what I'm tweeting than have, you know, like my family starved.
Yeah, I'm not comparing those things. I'm talking about being full of shit and inconsistent and running around. And it's okay here, meaning we treat one country okay because you do what we want you to do. So we're going to overlook all your human rights violations.
Okay, that's...
However, another country, well, naughty, naughty, naughty. That's how it is when people tweet. Like if you... That's, I'm saying
I see. You're making a correlation.
A microcosm of how we fucking are.
Okay.
That's who we are.
Okay.
Hey, I like you, so you can say that. I won't go after you, but you I don't like. So
right. Okay. Yes.
That drives me crazy.
Yes.
And by the way, Sam and I are just giving opinions. Neither of us are fucking claiming to be anything other than just two guys giving opinions. People get so mad. Like, you what the fuck is it? Well, neither do you, dummy.
We're kind of making it up as we go.
Yeah, you're wrong half the time too.
Right.
We all bat about fucking 500.
Right.
I love these people that think they're so politically versed. Take your political what is it? Your political science degree and shove it up your mother's twat.
Yeah. Go shit in your hat.
Shut up. Fucking assholes. It's all this is we are literally just giving opinions.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong.
Same with me.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's more just like I'm interested in Jim's take. Like and it's more like challenging each other's takes than it is arguing.
But but the way people will be on I guess you can't look at Twitter as a fucking
No.
You know.
No. Twitter is not real life. Twitter is Twitter. Yeah, I mean, I just, North Korea is the shits.
Yeah, it's not. It's obviously an awful place. It's an awful place. But on my point with Kim Jong-un was, when you step into a situation where you are destined to take over the country and you take over the country, how easy is it to make, like when you're in that world, like they say they don't even know how much ability he really has. Like he's the boss. But in that situation, how much are you the boss, and how much are some of these high-ranking military people around you?
No, I mean,
what are the politics? Like, you know how the royal family is the royal family?
Sure.
But they're not the real... Like, how much of these military people around him just as powerful as he is, and how much ability do they have to undermine him that nobody in the world knows, but they know in North Korea? I don't know. I'm
not saying that that's impossible. I totally get what you're saying intellectually, but I also don't... I wouldn't give him that benefit of a doubt.
I just don't know the answer to it. Somebody is Doug in Ohio. Let's go to Doug in Ohio.
My best friend, Doug. What's up, Doug?
Hey, Jen.
Hi, Doug.
Now that you've been to Europe, did you feel any sort of different degrees of freedom that their citizens are afforded over there than you do in the United States?
Honestly, no. I mean, I loved it. I was surprised how much I loved it. The people were great. No, I saw no difference. But again, dude, I was just there doing gigs, and I made a vacation out of a couple of gigs. I didn't get to spend any real time there. So no, I was just in and out as a vacationer, really, or as a performer.
Gotcha. I was there as a teenager, and I just felt, I guess, like at that time, as a younger person, I was given a lot more freedom. Like over there, I guess there's a saying that like everything is permitted except for that which is restricted, and they permit unless necessary to restrict. Whereas over here, we have a little bit more of a nanny state, and they, officials in charge will restrict unless it's necessary to permit.
You know what, though? We're restrictive here, but also if you say certain things in Germany or whatever, or in Britain even, they're considered like punishable by the law hate crimes. Here there's hate crimes as far as, you know, when you say things publicly that are naughty, you get a public scolding. But over there, the law punishes you for saying things you shouldn't say. So they're just as shitty over there.
Tell poor Mr. Eddie Ruggiero that he can say whatever he wants.
Absolutely. Oh, that's a good point. You know what? That's true. We're starting to go that way, where now you say shitty things publicly, and you're charged with a hate crime. I think they got Eddie Ruggiero because he was menacing her.
He was menacing her. Thank you, Doug.
Physically menacing her. Thanks, Doug.
Yeah. Joe in Texas. What's up, buddy? You there, Joe? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here. I just wanted to add some credence to what Jim had said about the shitty things that we have done ourselves. A lot of people don't like to talk about it. My wife's family lost almost 15,000 acres of land during World War II because they happened to be Japanese American and they were interned. And when they got out of the internment camp, they didn't get their property back. It was sold off to farmers in the valleys over in Southern California.
And what was the excuse the government gave?
They said my bad was the statement.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
What was the excuse they gave as to why they couldn't get their property back?
They sold it while they were interned. They took their property from them because they were treating the Japanese as prisoners. They locked them up for 7 years. And that's what our country has done to our own citizens. These were Japanese American, born, not immigrated, born in the United States of America.
Yeah,
and they were interned because they were Japanese and we were at war with Japan. Now, you know, I'm not saying that Kim in North Korea is someone to be, you know, held in high esteem. But we've done, you know, as Donald Trump says, we've done some pretty shitty things ourselves. And it's not just everybody else around the world. Not only have we done it to other people, we've done it to ourselves as well. And I've always wanted the opportunity to be able to, you know, to bring this to someone's attention. And I would hope that, you know, I don't sound like I'm on a soapbox here and that I should be, you know, the benefactor of all this property. But my wife's family, absolutely all, you know, every situation that they would have had to better themselves in the future was gone because they were Japanese.
Yeah.
And it's just something that, you know, I've always wanted to bring to someone's attention, and I'm glad that, you know, Jim, that you actually brought it up and said, look, we've done shitty things. You know, I'm former military, and I love my country, but our country has done bad things in the past. So
yeah, it's true.
That's all I have to say.
Okay,
and I'm not saying we're as shitty as North Korea. Of course, I'm not saying that.
No, we brought up the Japanese internment camps earlier.
Yeah, I'm not even remotely suggesting that we're the same as the North Korean regime. But I'm just, it's the fact that people are criticizing him for not coming out and scold. Like, we know that they're fucked up. Of course we do. But I also think that when you're in a position like Kim Jong-un is, and you're trying to literally do something that this system has not done for generations, and you're surrounded by career military people, a lot of them there who may have been there when your father was there, it's not as easy as just snapping your fingers and go, okay, we're going to meet with the U.S. Like, because don't think that he's not worried that somebody will assassinate him internally.
I don't think Kim Jong-un has made any efforts before this to change. I think that the fact that the people of North Korea are commanded to view him as a godlike figure,
just like they were his father.
Right, exactly.
Sure.
It's something that he's been like, okay, yeah, no, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. I don't think there's no real evidence that Kim Jong-un has made any sort of attempt to change anything in North Korea.
I don't know what he's done internally, but I know getting rid of certain,
I mean, we know some of the negative things he's done internally.
But getting rid of certain people in the military who were probably going to be a problem for this may have been one small move he was making, or one strategic move he was making, anticipating this, that this guy is going to be a problem, that guy is a problem. I don't know. Again, I can't. I'm just guessing. I have no idea why he did that shit. All I know is he came to the table. He came to the table, and Trump came to the table. And for both of them, it was big. And for both of them, they were risking being called complete assholes because they've trashed the other one.
And both of them also know that they're going to make a whole bunch of money when Trump opens up a bunch of hotels and golf courses in North Korea.
Yeah, and I got no problem with that. I mean, I don't. That means nothing to me. I don't care.
I mean, how much of this do you think is about that?
I don't at all.
What?
I truly don't.
You don't think any of this is about Trump opening up business in North Korea?
No, I don't think he gives a... Literally, Trump is 72 or 73 years old. When you have as much money as he does and you have business at all, I'm not saying he hasn't thought of it, but no, I think this is much more of I am doing something historic. And it's like he's looking at it as a much more like I'm changing the world. Maybe it's his ego, but no, I think this is a lot bigger than that. I'm not saying he hasn't considered it, but no, I don't think he's doing this to open a golf course. I don't. I just don't.
I think he wants a big building with his name on it in North Korea.
Sure, maybe he does.
I mean, that's the way he's going to make history, is being the first American hotel in North Korea.
Maybe, but there's also, I don't think there's a whole lot of money in North Korea. There's a lot, he could make a lot more money doing other things for allies than he will in North Korea.
But the ego boost is not the same.
Maybe. I don't see him doing it for that purpose. You know, again, I just don't.
And there's a lot of money in North Korea. It's just the citizens don't have it.
Yeah, but I don't even know how much the state has. They have some money.
That's true.
I don't
They could have nothing.
What are they exporting?
They could have a ton.
Yeah, what are they exporting? I mean, they're fucking... I think they're a pretty poor country. And I think that the infrastructure is kind of shitty. All the money goes to the military. I don't think they have that much, to be honest. I mean, what are they selling? How are they getting money? Most countries are not dealing with them.
Who knows? Man, everybody wants to...
yeah, the phone lines are lit.
Nick in Detroit.
What's up, Sammy Brand Muffins?
Hey, buddy.
Jimmy, how are you?
Hey, buddy.
I want to talk about, like, you say, like, you talk about how they criticize Trump basically for not talking shit about Kim Jong-un or whatever the fuck his name is, but he doesn't talk shit about any other country that we deal with. Like, you forget that Obama was fucking... I'm sorry, I fumbled this phone call, guys.
That's okay, Nick. Do you want to start over?
Go ahead, Nick. You call a lot, so you can start over.
Yeah. You got this, bud. You got this, bud.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Just start over again. Just relax. You can do it. Go ahead.
You stupid fucking cunt.
Go ahead. Go on now. Get down there and lick my asshole.
I love you guys. I'll just talk to you later.
Okay, goodbye. Goodbye. We actually have... this is Nick's call. I don't know, man. Let's go to I don't know, Tommy in Brooklyn.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning, Tommy.
I just wish that the Democrats once would have said, you know, we don't agree with a lot of things that he's done, but this one, you know, we'll give him an attaboy and just...
I think that's right.
You know, instead you get Schumer, who never has a good... He just looks for a reason to say something bad. It just, you know, it turns everybody off.
You know,
I'm not a Democrat, you know, but I would have just liked to have seen that. At least I would have said, all right, you know, at least they're human.
You know what? You're right, but that's not a Democrat thing. We all do it. That's the problem. I wish people would give credit to one. Like when we interviewed Trump on the phone, and I think I asked him, can you name one thing that Obama did right? I asked him if there was one thing, and he goes, no. I remember that before he was running.
Right.
I think he was just talking about it back. I don't remember what the call was about.
It's probably when he was knee deep in the birther movement.
Yeah. There you go. Might have been that. It was. I know it was on Opie and Anthony that he called in. But I remember asking him if he could name one thing, and I think I was praising Obama for getting bin Laden and going into Pakistan without permission, and Trump was going, any president would have done that. Anyone would have done that. So he didn't do it either. They're all full of shit. Trump didn't give any credit to Obama for making a move and going into a fucking a nuclear nation who's a quote-unquote ally with our military and grabbing bin Laden, which I thought was a great fucking move.
That's right.
It was a ballsy move, and Obama deserved all the credit for that.
Of course he does.
Because if it fucking flopped, Obama would have got kicked in the asshole for it, so give him the credit.
Yeah, he absolutely deserved the credit. Let's talk about what really matters here inside the Trump White House.
Two men making love.
Which two?
I'm just saying. They meant us.
Can you give me that drop from Jim Norton at some point? No, the real important story is the fact that Rudy Giuliani is running around having affairs with big boobed women.
Yeah.
It says, so yesterday, the story broke that Giuliani was having an affair while he was still married with this nurse or whoever she is. And when that story broke, I was like, oh, come on. He's already divorced. What difference does it make? He cheated on his wife. Why you got to drag him through the mud?
Yeah, who cares if he cheated? Who gives a fuck?
But now there's funny details coming out.
She has big tits.
I like the funny details.
Me too.
It says Rudy Giuliani has been bragging to pals about having an affair with a married woman with big boobs, sources tell the New York Post.
Yeah, who cares?
I like that Giuliani, when he gets off camera, he's like, I've been having an affair with a married woman.
Yeah.
She's got big boobies.
Yeah, likes to suck her big tits. Good for Rudy. Good for Rudy.
If he's just talking among guys, what's wrong
I
with
don't
that?
give a
Right.
fuck.
Yeah.
I just like that it's also that she has big boobs.
Yeah,
Like, he has
it's
to bring
nice.
that up.
He should.
Men like boobs.
But do you think that he gets asked that, or do you think he just brings it up? Like he wants people to just kind of know.
Thank you. I think he probably just says it.
I do too.
Big tits.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
He lisps.
You should see her boobs.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind that at all.
The former mayor didn't reveal the ample-bosomed woman's identity, the source said, but rumored the mistress was Maria Ryan, matches the description on both fronts. She's married, and she's got big cans.
Nice. Good for her.
Yeah, this is
good for Rudy.
This is where it became very damaging because the evidence collected.
Sure.
There were pictures of this woman that they said he had an affair with. He said it was just dinner, but then he was she had big boobs. He was bragging about big boobs.
All speculation and hearsay. I don't mind if Rudy was sucking those big tits.
Do you think he said titties or boob? I mean, he's quoted as boobs.
She had big boobs.
Yeah, that's kind of like an old guy thing.
It is, right?
Yeah, boobs.
Big boobs.
Big boobs.
Yeah.
This is America's mayor, by the way.
Yeah.
Big
Yeah.
boobs.
But he's still a man.
Yeah.
He is at the end of
At
the
the end of the day, he's got a
still
penis
man.
and testicles.
That's right.
Absolutely. Well, I don't know how well they work after a surgery, but he still obviously can blow loads.
That's right.
Good for Rudy.
Isn't it nice to know that that's where you find a man's humanity, isn't it?
Yep, and his dick.
So Giuliani on Wednesday called the claims totally false, saying whoever told you that is a liar. But a day earlier, the 74-year-old member of President Trump's personal legal team also denied cheating on his wife, Judith Nathan. Blah, blah,
But
blah.
then right there, that's wrong. He said the girl I fucked is a small-titted idiot. That's out of line, Rudy.
All right.
Oh, by the way, before I forget, Vinny just texted me, please plug. I'll be at the Stretch Factory tomorrow and Saturday in Connecticut.
That's not always the best
Never
sign.
a good sign. It's the summer. But come out. Tickets are available for stretchfactory.com for Bridgeport. It's a brand new club they're trying to get started. So there's not a history of people going there.
If I was going to be in town, I would head up there.
Where are you going?
Chicago for WWE.
Can't you go Saturday?
No, I'm working on Saturday. I'm going on Friday.
Go work in the morning.
No, I can't have them change their schedule
Just
based
catch a
on.
flight on Saturday morning.
Jim and Sam.
Yeah.
No, I know the show.
Way to support your guy.
No, I know. I'm sorry, guys.
Vinny is asking that you tweet. Hey, Vinny, stop texting me while I'm on the air to tweet.
We'll tweet it.
Exactly.
Yeah, please do. As per Vinny's request.
I will write that.
Vinny, you're a
You
disruption.
can leave it. I'm not done. Thanks, Lou.
You're a disruption, Vinny.
Yeah.
Knock it off. Giuliani insisted they're only friends, saying I've never
Stretch Factory this weekend. Oh, sorry.
saying I've never spent the night with her, but then adding in he was in effect separated from his wife at the time. He's
Yeah,
like,
so
number one, I've never slept with her. Number
No,
two,
I never spent the night. That means, well, here's what I've heard Rudy said. She ate my ass. She ate my ass. and he left. She ate his ass and he left. That's what happened. America's mayor put his face in the pillow.
Uh-huh.
She ate his ass.
Uh-huh.
She got the back of his legs all wet.
Uh-huh.
And then he emptied his seed and he went home. Nice. He promised her, he said, he could eat my ass and I'll recip.
Is that slang?
Reciprocate, yeah.
Of course.
Of course it is.
Now, and this all got done before midnight, so it's not even into the wee hours of the morning.
Yeah, no, Rudy said that he wanted in his own mind, he wanted a no recip ass eating, and that's what he got. She ate his ass, then he left.
And that's really dessert in some places.
Sure.
You know, that's a part of dinner.
Yep.
It's not a big deal.
Not a big deal at all.
Nope. Isn't that funny? I love it when people do the double excuse where the one excuse cancels out the other one, where they go, like what Giuliani did, where he goes, number one, we're just friends. I never slept with her. Number two, I was separated from my wife anyway.
Yeah.
And you're going, well, why'd you mention this?
Yeah.
If you're allowed to have friends if you're not separated from your wife.
Yeah, I didn't even fuck her and I was separated even if I did. Who cares?
Like, Rudy, what are you doing?
Yeah. Why do we give a shit if he fucked her?
We don't.
It's not like he just slapped her face with his big dick.
Well, now that you mention it.
Is that even a story? 16 years ago, Jamie Foxx slapped the lady's face.
Wow.
With his dick because she wouldn't suck it. How did that happen?
He's
How did he
denying
get
it.
his dick? I know, but how did he get his dick by your face if you weren't fooling around? Like literally, did he ask for a blowjob and then you're sitting there and he walked over just with his dick out and hit you in the face? All right, that's kind of shitty. But or were you fooling around and you just decided not to suck it?
Here's something you don't know about Jamie Foxx. He could put his dick near your face right now, and he's on the West Coast.
If that's
this
true,
guy is packing.
If that's true, hats off to Jamie Foxx.
Wouldn't it be great if he did it with no hands?
It'd be amazing.
Just had that kind of penis muscle strength.
Yep, just pushed his hips, hit her in the face.
Yeah, the story is that in 2002, Jamie Foxx slapped a woman's face with his penis. The woman told police last week that they were at a party at his house in Las Vegas, and the woman told police that when she refused to perform oral sex on him, he struck her in the face with his penis. Fox has denied the allegation, branding it as an absurd lie. She claims she went to the hospital after returning home to Los Angeles the following day after suffering a severe panic attack. Maybe because the dick was so big. I don't know. I mean, how do you...
I've never been able to hit a girl in the face with my dick who wasn't already by my dick.
That's right.
And again, unless you sneak up on her and she's in a chair and then you fucking hit her in the ear from behind. How does that happen? How do you get...
Do you just kind of rest it on her shoulder?
How is your face by a dick and then he slaps it on your face without you seeing that coming in? I'm just asking how that happens.
You're teasing him.
What's that?
She's probably down there teasing.
I don't know how you slap a face with you. If she's at his hand, but with your dick, how do you get your dick by someone's face at a party? I'm asking strategically how.
Yeah. No, I don't, because it would have to be out already.
Yep.
You're saying that you could definitely avoid a dick slapping. You, Jim Norton.
Yep. I believe I could.
Just matrix your way out of that. Just do that back arch, you know?
Unless maybe, again, are you fooling around with the guy at all? Like, do you, is it this? Is it one of these situations where you're fooling around with him? And this is a speculation. He's a big celebrity. You're fooling around with him.
Right.
You don't want to go any further.
Right.
He pulls his dick out. Maybe you touch it a little bit. He kind of guides your head down, and you're like resisting a little bit in your own mind. Like, I don't know. It's Jamie Foxx. I don't want to disappoint him, but I don't want to do it. And then you start smacking your face, going, "Come on, suck it," like just being dirty. And then you're like, "No, I can't. And then you stop. Maybe that's what happens. And then all of a sudden, so you're not. You don't want to blow him, but you're not screaming, "Get off me!" You're just like, "No, I don't want to." Is that what happened? I don't know.
Well, you tell me, because you've been in more scenarios than I have.
Both ends.
Is it possible that she offered to smell it, and then she went down and took a sniff, and she's like, "I won't blow it,"
like it was a fine brandy?
That's right. She's like, "I won't suck it, but I will give it a sniff." And he goes, "Okay, smell it." And then when she was down smelling it, that's when he hit her in the cheek with it, gave her the mushroom stamp.
You know, I don't know. I mean, have I ever had a girl go down and like just, I'm like, "Come on, suck my," and she doesn't want to suck it? Sure. And then she doesn't. We've all
Or with her
had
face
that.
in your crotch?
Maybe she's jerking him off.
Yeah, that might have been where. So I think sometimes there's times where.
But still, I mean, even if she's jerking him off, he didn't hit her in the hand.
There are times where
he hit her on the face.
Yeah, but her face might have been. He might have guided her face down. You know, men are taught to respect the word no. Like growing up, at least in our generation, you're taught, "Hey, man, if a woman says no, you stop." And so what happens is a lot of times a woman will be in that situation. You're like, "Come on, suck my dick," and she's like, "I don't know." And you're like, "Come on," you're cajoling her to do it, and she does it. Or she goes down on it. Nah, she's done 100% with it. But she's not saying no. She's not really saying, "I don't want to do it," and just saying, "No, I'm not going to do it."
That's right.
And then there's times they go, "Nah, I'm not going to do it," and they back out. You're like, "All right, I might make you do it."
My issue is that if he had forced her head down to his pelvic area, she would have said, "He forced my head."
Yeah.
If she's going to come forward with these accusations, she wouldn't just say, "He hit me in the face with his dick" after I said no. She would say, "I wasn't going to do it, and he pushed my head down into his lap and then hit me." She didn't say anything about pushing her head down there, which the implication to that is her head was at least in the upper thigh area. So what the hell was her face doing down there? If not, maybe she was like, "I'll just put the balls in my mouth and that's it."
Maybe.
When we were kids, we used to come up behind our friends and drop our ball bag right on people's shoulders.
Okay. Teabagging.
Yeah, it's called the Beretta.
Teabagging
like
is
the
in the
old
mouth.
parrot.
Oh.
You drop it right in the mouth. But like you'd walk up and just...
Do you ever teabag your friends?
I've never teabagged a friend. I think we've probably done like Roman war helmets.
Right on the forehead.
Like if they're passed out and it's coming down.
Sure.
You know?
Right. Sure.
But yeah, we put our bags on people's shoulders. So they turn around and your ball bag is sitting right there. So maybe he came up behind and just whacked her in the side of the head with his cock.
That means he's working with quite a bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
If he can go from behind, reach around the head, and get her in the face.
When he comes up from behind the shoulder.
That's what I mean, though. But you'd still have to go around the head. You'd still have to. I
mean, I'm sure he has a very large penis.
You think so?
Yeah. Of course.
If you had to predict?
Yes.
Man.
Maybe.
I mean, either way, I don't see how it's not. Like, I don't see what method you could do to hit somebody in the face with it who doesn't want to be hit in the face with it if it's not just massive. It has to be.
It's a crazy thing, too, because, sometimes, like, I've been with girls, maybe, Jim, maybe you have, too, like, where you're naked and your dick is right there.
It's right there.
And you're just kind of playing around, like, your pussy, and then she's like, no, I don't know, like, kind of, because she doesn't want to seem like a slut.
But she's already naked.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So maybe it was a scenario like that. And then he just was aggressive because sometimes, when a man's round up, sometimes he gets a little more aggressive.
Maybe they were lying down, right? And they're both naked. And then she's like, you know what? I changed my mind. I really don't want to do this. And he was like, okay, no problem. But when he stood up, he like kind of stood up and like brushed on her as he walked and just kind of smeared his dick and balls over her face.
Probably not that nice, though. He probably slapped it.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. If he did it, he was probably like, come on, babe. Suck my dick, baby. And slap it on her cheek, and she just didn't want to do it. That happens.
His statement is, I absolutely did not do it, but it is big enough. So, I don't know. It's a hell of a statement, though.
Yeah, it's
not the worst rumor to have about you.
Not at all.
In terms of, because it's not really... Like, it's not like it's kind of, it's not like brutal enough to be coupled in with a lot of the other Me Too stuff, and it means that it means you have a pretty good size.
You can't be lumped in with Me Too stuff. Me Too should be about people who are committing rapes and drugging people and fucking enforcing you against your will.
Well, technically sexual assault if you get hit in the face with a dick.
Depends on what the situation is. If you're down there and he's slapping your face, going, come on, suck, and she doesn't want to.
How would he say it?
Come on, suck, like whatever. That's not an absurd thing. If you're already in a sexual situation.
No, but no, of course not.
If you walk up to somebody at a party and just slap your dick on the face, yeah, all right, that's assault. I don't know if that's what happened.
I don't even know how that works. Unless it's Troy's method.
I don't know either.
Of the sneak attack.
Yeah, it still sucks for him to have to be lumped in with this bullshit.
It does, but I think most people reading this story are like, I don't know about this one. Just because the physics of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if something else happens down the road, can't they say he was...
remember, he slapped that girl in the face with his dick.
Yeah. Allegedly slapped, and just to have that on his record.
A lot of the reaction I've heard from this story has been people kind of doubting it because they're going, because they just don't understand the physics.
16 years ago,
of how it's possible. It's 16 years ago. I don't know. Travis, you ever cock slap somebody?
Against their will?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so it happens. It does. It does happen. In Canada, it's allowed, so I don't know.
Are you a dirty talker, Travis?
No, not so much.
This is Travis's dirty talk.
What? Are you a missionary guy or a doggy style? Or riding?
No, I don't ride.
No, do you like being ridden?
Yes.
You do.
Travis likes to ride, and he plays that like, ride the pony.
It's hard to picture Travis in any sort of
Thank you, Sam.
Well, yeah, no, I'm sorry that there was a song within the last 20 years that I threw out into the room.
Hey.
You stupid
That's right.
No, it's hard to picture Travis in any sort of sexual situation because he just doesn't...
No, it's not.
I think about it all the time.
Yeah, Troy, I think you're in the minority.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah, I can't picture Travis fucking. I know he does, but...
Yeah, as a kid.
I've only seen him
He did at least once.
Yes.
Once.
Yep. I know for sure it happened one time.
Are you sexually anorexic?
What?
People who don't have sex, they're so called sexual anorexic.
Is that right?
I've never heard that term.
No.
I'm sexually bulimic.
But maybe that's it.
I like to fuck and then just throw up.
Oh, no. I like to fuck and then they throw up.
Did you date a lot before you got married?
Not a ton. I had like 3 or 4 serious girlfriends.
Okay, so only a few relationships, but You don't have time for relationships. What about sex?
Yeah, I don't have time. I'm not going to go to dinner with these women.
Dude, you got to watch The Staircase on Netflix. Have you seen it?
Yeah. It's like, it's good.
How much have you watched?
The whole thing. I saw it a while ago, not on Netflix. I forget where I saw it.
Oh, yeah.
So then he's seen what we're talking about.
They've updated it.
Oh.
But it's, but yeah, the first 2 episodes, Travis and I are 2 episodes in, and we were talking about it a bunch this morning. About how, I mean, I don't even know. Maybe watch it. We'll talk about it. Like,
well, I mean, if Jim's seen it, then he can.
I know, but the audience hasn't seen it.
Wait, what updating did they do? How many new?
Netflix did 3 new episodes.
Oh,
so
you know
now
what?
They've put all the episodes up on.
I have not seen the 3 new ones.
We're not talking about the 3 new ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're talking about the first 2 from 10 years ago.
Ooh. Saw a bag of Wise potato chips. I thought it was...
Yeah, when he... there's a revelation about him in the second episode.
I think you could talk about... I mean...
whatever. It's the second episode.
A decade old?
Yeah, so it's about this guy who's an author who... his wife fell down the stairs, or so we're told.
And banged her head.
And
died.
And the cops arrest him for murder right away.
They said that he pushed her down the steps and she banged her head.
What is he doing?
I don't know why he's doing that.
I'm chiming in with the details because people don't know.
But in the second episode, you find out that he's a bisexual man who was also having sex with guys while he was married, although it apparently was not a secret. But there's this amazing scene where one of his lawyers comes up to him. He's like, I got his statement. And the author goes, oh, you did? What's his name? Michael Peterson?
Yeah. How ironic.
Michael Peterson goes, you did. You did. Oh, well.
Michael Peter Kisser.
That's right.
Boo.
He goes, what did he say? And then the lawyer goes, well, he said you guys have been sexually intimate together many times. And the guy goes, you're shitting me. And
really?
And his voice octave goes up 100, and they're going, they're like, yeah, he said that you guys had a sexual relationship. What? When? And he just completely and then he starts looking at the lawyer and he goes, yeah, I gotta see this statement. Do you have it? I gotta see it.
I've never seen a man go from totally straight, I didn't see that coming, to obviously bisexual.
Yeah. Yeah, and
just
then
in the inflection of his voice.
If a guy is accusing you or telling someone in a legal document that you've been sucking his dick,
what?
You don't go, let me see the statement.
I'd love to.
How many times did he say I suck it? Not in the car again.
He did. He was asking. He was like, well, how many times? Well, when? And the lawyer's like, I don't remember the details, man. He's
exactly.
Like, I gotta see I gotta see this statement.
I'll have to watch it again. It's been a while.
Wonderful reveal.
I'll watch it again. It's been a long time since I did see the original 10, but I will watch the following 3.
Yeah, it's really good. Like I'm enjoying it. And I know I remember when we were talking about Making a Murderer, people called in and said, "Hey, you got to watch The Staircase." So this is like, people. Yeah. A lot of people have seen this.
Yeah, and Making a Murderer. When's the new one coming out with the updated one from the prosecution side? How many episodes?
I'm not sure. There's I know that there's 2. There's one that's coming from the prosecution side that is not a sequel. Like that's not from the same filmmakers.
Okay.
But there is one that's coming out from the filmmakers. It's like an update. And then there's also one that's coming out more from the prosecution side.
Good.
There's also
on Netflix?
Yes.
I
no,
hope so.
wait. The one from the prosecution side, they're still shopping it around. Like they filmed, they made the documentary,
Done, okay.
but they're shopping it.
Hope they give it to Amazon.
I mean, Amazon wouldn't be stupid to take it.
No, Amazon is trying to compete.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a scene where they're going and they're like, you had relationships with other men like while the marriage was on. While the marriage was going on. Is that correct? And he goes, well, no. I mean, I couldn't have had any other relationships going on. I mean, a relationship, I just don't, I'm not that multifaceted. I was completely fulfilled by my wife in terms of relationships. Was I going out to dinner with people? No, I didn't have time.
Inconceivable.
Inconceivable. And they go, well, what about sex? And he goes, sex, that could happen, yes. Yeah, that could happen.
Relationship? No, we didn't hug. I just he blew me in the car.
That could happen.
That's all he's saying. He's saying he's got no time for dinner, but plenty of time for fucking.
That's right.
I love this guy.
Oh,
yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Reveal. do not believe she fell down those stairs.
Okay, that's only two episodes in?
I've got 10 episodes left, but there's way too much blood for that to be...
Oh, wait, you haven't seen it, Travis?
No, I'm 2 episodes
Oh, you're just watching. Maybe I'll watch it again. Okay.
Yeah, it's good. Ron in Maryland?
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Hey, Ron.
man.
Hey, real quick. I know exactly what happened with this Jamie Foxx. Tell me if we all haven't been there before.
Okay.
We're at a party. He's trying to bang this chick, and she's like, no, I don't want to have sex. I don't want to have sex. And he's like, well, why don't you just, come on, why don't you just jerk me off or something then? And she was probably like, oh, all right, I'll do that. And she started to do it, and then he's like, and then, come on, why don't you suck it? No, and then goes from there. Yeah, you know how we always edge in like that.
Yeah,
how do you do this and they do that? Next thing you know, it goes to oral sex. Next thing you know, you're banging her.
How do you give a hand? How do you get a hand job from somebody with their face close enough?
You might guide her head down there where she's not resisting, but in her mind she's like, "Oh Christ!"
She would have said that though, don't you think, or no?
No, I mean she maybe hasn't given many details yet.
She said she got slapped in the face with a dick. Thank you, buddy. It's possible. I just feel like she would have been like, he forced my head down, and like she's clearly trying to make something out of this, right? We should take a break.
Yeah, we should.
Mark Maron's coming in.
And Betty Gilpin, who's on the show as well. I'm happy to see
Glow,
Mark.
Season 2.
What time is Mark?
Mark's coming in a few minutes. Mark's at 9:30.
Oh, good.
And Betty Gilpin will be here a little later.
And also, I have the Stress Factory this weekend. Tickets for Houston in October go on sale tomorrow.
What?
I have San Antonio and Houston back-to-back, and I also have the Chip Podcast Live, as everybody knows, in September. And I got a gig in Cleveland, Hilarities. I think that's in August. I'm guessing tickets are on sale. I don't know. Check JimNorton.com or check Hilarities website. I will be there in August. My first time ever in that club.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a great club.
Yes.
I've never done a club in Cleveland.
Really?
I've only done theaters.
It's a humble brag.
Yep.
I'm not even, no one cares. I'm just saying it's my first time doing a club.
That's why it's a humble brag.
Oh.
Showing the Chip money gesture. That's good stuff. All right, we'll be back with Mark Maron.
Betty Gilpin, both promoting Glow Season 2, June 29th, available on Netflix.
Heck yeah.
Congratulations to Mark for being part of that show. It's a really very, very big show.
It's a great show, too.
Yeah, and then you said it's very accurate, right?
Yeah, it's very, very accurate, actually, for the period of time and everything. I just passed Dennis in the hall.
Did you? How's Denny doing?
He's still laughing about that goddamn line. I walk by him and he's like, Sammy! It's like, yeah. He's like, I'm still laughing about that line. He's like, what line is that? And he did the where'd you get your hair?
Where'd you get your hair cut?
Yeah, he did that
He
again.
loves it.
He
probably didn't do it with the accent this time?
It's still... No, he did it with the accent.
He did do it with the
he's still doing it with the accent.
Okay.
Yeah, of course he is.
Hey.
Mark Maron. What's going on, man?
You guys on the air? I'm sorry.
We
we are.
Nice to see you.
You too, pal.
Did it bother you when I touch your head right away?
No, not at all.
All right.
Not at all. I like affection among friends. The older I get, the more comfortable I am with affection.
Right? You want to just hug for a while?
I do hug a lot of my friends, and then when enough of your friends die, when one of them says, when your friends goes, all right, man, I love you, you go, all right, yeah, I love you too. When you've had enough of them drop dead, you're like, I'm comfortable with that.
Sure, yeah, you just got to, not hold them too long.
Yeah. What is the line between I'm really happy to see you and like I wanted to fuck you for a long time?
Yeah. and it's when they go, all right.
Yeah, it gets a little creepy and needy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's also, you have to figure out how tight you're going to go too.
Right.
Because the minute chest touching is one thing, but pelvis touching is completely uncalled
That's always
for.
a shocker when it happens. I think it's a reflexive thing. Some guys just do that, and then you're like, whoa.
Right.
Hey, hey, how are you?
How about kissing on the cheek?
Oh, that's all right.
Some guys.
Yeah.
Really?
Huh?
Some guys do it.
Do you kiss on the cheek?
I don't know.
No, neither
I can't
do I.
remember the last time a guy's kissed me on the cheek. Oh, maybe, usually older. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you kiss on the cheek?
No, but I'm trying to think of when I was, but it wasn't a big deal.
Do you guys switch chairs sometimes? Because I thought you were sitting over there.
We do. Yeah. We like to confuse the guests. Just really throw people off
I just thought it was like a power jockeying thing.
No.
It's an even Steven type of deal.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I actually, we were in L.A.,
Yeah.
and he was running the board in L.A., and we both, I just liked that energy, and he liked it too, so I'm more comfortable here. I like it better.
Because you feel like, this is an easier seat, it's not on you.
I just like focusing on what I want to focus on, which is just firing out nonsense. I enjoy this more.
Okay.
And he
Well, no,
enjoys that more.
I'm comfortable with it. It was just a little shocking.
Oh,
I didn't know what happened.
Right.
Again, what was there a duel? What was
No.
it?
Wouldn't it be great though if you brought that up and there was like severe tension over it?
I would.
We
think,
haven't brought
I would
that
thank
up on
God.
the air.
Yeah, well,
I
what
would
do you
think
mean?
It would be the
What do
best.
you-
it would
what's-
be
what
the-
do you mean? What change?
Oh God, it would be a great half hour.
The agreement
It'd be
was
so easy. Well, look at them fighting. What a lucky day this is.
we're going to change positions, but Jim it will not allow that it's acknowledged on the air.
Yeah, exactly. Jump that. Take that out of the replay. Take that out of the replay.
What are those socks? Do you get the Boomba socks?
No,
I got
these are
Bombas.
called- these are
Bombas.
zoned.
Yeah, I think I got.
The Bombas socks are they're fucking best.
I don't know
right?
what a Bomba sock is.
Did you do the ads for them and they sent a bunch or what?
No, I think
You just bought
What's
them?
a Bomba sock?
I think my wife ended up bringing some home.
You go order them online, and they're just they're good. I don't know why. I get loyal to weird shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like that's a sock for me. I'm going to do it for the next.
You both
2 or
have
3
Bomba
years.
socks?
We
You're
might
wearing
have
the
the
same
same-
socks.
No, but they have different colors. They have yellow and gray.
You're wearing
whatever.
the same socks.
We're wearing the same Bomba socks.
Yeah,
today.
we are wearing the same Bombas
Yeah.
socks. I don't know what that makes us, but
I don't know.
It's
And
all right.
It is. It's good.
They're getting a lot of free juice right now, Bomba.
That's right.
As we speak.
Didn't they start on Shark Tank?
Yeah, they did.
Right?
What's
Yeah.
the difference between them and others? I have low ankle socks.
Well, I just saw the name, and
Yeah.
I thought, is that a Bomba sock? And I thought we'd bond on that, and
No,
then
they're
we'd hug,
zoned.
and I'd kiss you on the cheek.
I would like that anyway.
Okay, we'll do it
Especially a
after.
man of a different sock. I prefer that. I prefer that.
What are those sneakers?
These are, you know what? People were attacking my sneakers. These are
No, who was
Adidas.
attacking your sneakers?
The whole gang was, and they were right. I
The
had
gang? Which gang? Oh, at the
These
cellar?
guys, yeah.
Oh,
No,
over
these
here?
guys.
Oh.
These are Adidas. What are these called?
Ultra Boosts.
Boosts. Yeah, they're comfortable.
You just threw him a softball. What did they call you? You just said stupid? Or
No, those are an upgrade from what he had.
Yeah, they are.
Well, I just like that it's just it's almost a shoe that wants no attention. Like it's just gray, three shades of gray.
I like a nice, quiet shoe.
It's a very quiet shoe, unassuming, but
A gentleman shoe.
not orthopedic looking.
No, I like a nice black shoe or
The
something.
last
that
one
no
was
will notice.
orthopedic.
You know,
Oh.
the last one is horribly orthopedic.
It's
Yeah.
good to see you. I mean, I can't, it's nice to be on radio again.
Yeah, do you miss it?
Well, I miss doing this. I miss that that it's live and at any moment I could say something and like literally a thousand douchebags would troll me for no reason. I miss that.
You miss
the
that.
excitement of it's been pretty quiet on my feed and I don't engage much and I enjoy doing radio, but the live element is sort of like, when's it going to happen?
Plus, if you go on somebody else's show, it means like on your feed, like the people who listen to your podcast are your fans.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
show up on somebody else's show.
Yeah.
That way you expose yourself to the people who might not like you at all.
Oh yeah, well there's no way not to expose yourself to the people that might not like you at all in
Right.
the day and age we live in.
They find you.
Found that?
I don't know. Like I love I love doing it. I like talking to other
Right.
people, but there's an intensity that happens on live radio as opposed to just sitting in my garage and doing what I do and talking to people. You know it's happening live and
you know
people are
they're-
listening now, and there's the energy of it is very exciting.
Do you go back and listen to after you record the podcast? Do you go back, listen, edit little things out or whatever?
Only if Brendan's a producer, Brendan McDonald. So only if he's like, if I feel that he's done a major thing, because he does trim and he does sort of mold the conversation sometimes, and I'll go listen to it if he said, because I forget fucking everything. I mean, I've done over 950 of those things. So once I have the conversation, it's like me talking to you right now, and then it's gone. I don't revisit it. Like we reposted the Bourdain episode from 2011, and the impact it's had on people listening to it is profound and it's amazing. And like I kind of remember it, but then I got to go back and listen to what an amazing thing it was to hear that guy at that time, given what's happened. So. But I don't have a lot of recollection. I don't fiddle with it, and I don't listen again. Usually, I let Brendan do it
Because it's just a conversation, and then all of a sudden it goes out, and
people they hear little things, and a lot of times I'll say things on the show, and people will tweet quotes from the thing that I said, and I'm like, that's pretty good. When did I fucking say that?
I don't remember that at all.
I have no. That's great. I got to write that down, use it on stage. I'm an idiot.
I should write a book of all these quotes.
yeah, book of things that have other things like that.
You should write a book called Poignant Things I've Said. That'd be a great book.
Poignant things I've said, but I didn't fucking remember. Yeah, but no, it's good, and I like being here. I like doing live radio.
I love it too, man. I mean, I enjoy podcasting as well and doing that, but there is a live element. There's something about it that I enjoy.
I like that it's done. when it's done. You know what I mean? Like there's no going back.
No putting it back. No, can't take that back.
You got to try again tomorrow if you want to fix it because it's done.
Yeah, right. Put together an apology.
Exactly right.
You fucked up.
But it's a funny thing is like with a podcast, you're saying like, well, you could say something when you're live, but even in a podcast, because half the times these landmines are thrown out as you're walking.
Yeah.
You could say it and not realize it. Then by the time the thing is like, oh my God, that's a problem. I said that a month ago or 2 weeks ago. So it's
that's
out there
the worst.
either way. Yeah.
You know, and also if you fester about it, you know, like, but you can just take it out. But a lot of times you don't realize you said it, then it gets taken out of context, and then you're an idiot.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen to me a lot. Has it happened to you?
Not really, no. But I mean, I'm aware. But I guess because we're going live, you kind of that anything you say that's okay today might not be okay.
And we've watched people get in trouble.
Sure, you've watched enough people get in trouble. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
People get in trouble around here.
Oh boy.
Here and there.
In these glass rooms, people get in trouble.
Occasionally they do. Yeah.
That's why the population in these rooms tends to shrink and shrink and shrink each time.
And it just branches off. Hey, he's in his own room now? And that guy's
That's right.
not in the room at all. He's got no room. No, he's working out of his basement? All right.
And what do you find when you do like other people's podcasts now? Because you were super early in this game, but like I was just listening to you doing Dax Shepard's podcast and stuff like that.
Well, you know, as a recovering resentful person, managing, I don't have look, Dax is a great guy, and you know, he's doing a show not it's sort of similar, but no one invented anything. No one invented talking to other people.
You can't take ownership on conversation?
No, I can't. Okay. You know, and some people, but you know, there have been people like Pete Holmes who outright say like he just stole my show, and I don't know what that means because it's me talking to people, so I don't really take offense or get jealous, but doing Dax's show, that was fun. What I like if I do a show like this or a podcast is that because you do the same fucking thing that you don't like when you're talking to people. You know when someone's sitting here going through their thing, right?
Yeah.
So they're just okay. So I read this. So he's saying what I read, and I knew it. So how do you get around that? So if somebody, it's not on me. Like I have things I've said before, and I'll say them again if you don't take me off it. So when it gets off of that, I'm excited. When it doesn't, but there are some times where you're like, all right, there's a 7-minute thing with the guy I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell that story again.
Well, yeah, people forget in interviews.
I got my phone tour story.
Exactly.
You're doing interviews. It's like you do so many. Like when you do a print interview, when you're like, I'm touring. So when you're touring, you're doing fucking 5 interviews a day sometimes.
Yeah.
Hey, calling Idaho. You're calling this one. And a lot of times you're going to say the same shit. What do you want? Fuck, they want an hour and 20 minutes of different material for interviews? Like,
no, yeah, you got to. And you're just hoping that, and this is a strange thing that hasn't necessarily happened. I don't know if it's happened to you, but I assume like a lot of times, like for instance, you know, I've been doing promotion for Glow, and literally until the other day, I had 2 shirts I could wear, you know, for photo opportunities. If I got to do a red carpet or whatever.
Right.
I don't have a suit. I don't have a jacket that I like. So it's either the black denim shirt or the other one. Right. So, and I've done it for 2 years now. Now, is there somebody amassing pictures, you know, where they're just going to line them up side by side and go, doesn't Marin have another shirt? Doesn't Marin own a jacket? Like with those interviews, you're like, is anyone going to line up all those radio appearances and go, look at this idiot. He's saying the same thing like a monkey over and over again. But they don't.
Right.
They don't.
Yeah, most
Regional.
times they don't. You also, it's funny, like that's the advantage of being like Rodney or one of those guys that you're only expected to have one outfit. How great must that have been? The fucking red tie, the black suit,
white shirt.
That's it.
And you have 3 of them. Yeah,
right.
You know, that's what you're known for. It's like Einstein. He had the 5 jackets, and that's that.
He's got his uniform.
Yeah, and the people expect to see you in it.
I just compared Rodney to Einstein. That might be a first.
You know what? But a lot of people would say what comedians. How is your
E equals MC squared? It's got 3 beats. Boom, boom, boom. It's a fucking great joke.
Are you still loving the podcast? I mean, like you're doing it so long. It's like it's a huge part of your life. Do you still love it? Are there days where you're like, oh fuck?
No, every day like is for everything. When I wake up, it's
fuck this.
It's exactly. I have a compounded anxiety that just sort of it manifests itself in dread about everything.
Yeah.
Like I'm driving over here, I'm like, oh Christ, what am I walking into? What's going to happen over there? Sam, Jim, I love those guys. I don't know what's going to happen. You know, so and then I get here, I see your bald head, and I rub it, and I'm good. So we didn't kiss, though.
No,
but
we will.
Okay.
We'll just.
I knew it was coming. For so long. I knew it was.
I wake up in the morning and I do that. Like my wife will, because I won't realize my wife is listening, but I'll always. I think a profanity is usually the first thing that I like. I just wake up and I'll stretch and I'll be like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
And you know, I'll just say that, and Jess will be like, you know, are you okay? And I'm like, what? Yeah, I'm waking up. Like, what do you mean?
Already? Yeah. We were going to sleep last night, me and Sarah, she's with me, my girlfriend, and she has a sensitivity to light. So if there's any small amount of light in the room anywhere,
yes, you can't
when
sleep.
she's going to bed, and she wears the thing over her face, like you know what I mean? She's got a weird sensitivity, and there's a little blue light coming from the alarm clock to the right
Cover
of the
with
bed.
a sock.
And I thought she was sleeping. Right, that's what she does. But I thought she was sleeping, and just out of nowhere, she goes, "What's that light?" And I go, and I wake up. I'm like, "What the fuck you want me to do about it? You want me to cover it?" Like I'm at that tone, and we're sleeping. And then I wake up, and I'm at that. I'm already at that tone. Do you ever pick up your phone and just feel? You open the phone, and just all of a sudden, you're alive with hate.
Yeah.
But the podcast. Well, I get anxious. I never know what's going to happen because I know that I have to sit in there for on my. I know I got to do an hour. Like if it's a main guest, I got to do at least an hour. And the new garage, for some reason, I've been doing like an hour and a half. I like it. I don't know. I didn't think it would happen, but it's been pretty good. So I don't know what's going to happen. So I get that anxiety.
Yeah.
So and I find that every time I sit down with somebody, like a good example, a couple of weeks ago, Josh Brolin in, and I don't know that guy, and I don't know what it's going to be like when he pulls up to my house, because generally people, they either come alone with people, and I got it, they're coming into the house, the new house, which is a beautiful place. The other place was charming. This one's beautiful.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to happen, but right away, I felt like I knew him. We sat down, and it was like an hour and a half, and it was great. But before that, I was like, oh, what's this guy? He's just an actor. What's going to, you do that.
Yeah.
So there's always the excitement of having an amazing talk with somebody.
When you first started, or I guess when you started talking to higher profile, A-list actors and stuff like that.
I mean, other than Jim?
Other than Jim,
yes.
Yeah. Jim was
began it all.
He was the first A-lister.
That's a powerful one. That was I think it opened up everyone's mind. The best Jim moment on WTF was the live one where somehow or another I had Jim and Maria Bamford on the same panel.
Mm-hmm.
And
was that Janine on that one too?
I think Janine was on too. And Jim was talking about pee or something. And how he
like
talks
the Jim that I know.
the way he talks about pee is very unique.
Sure.
And you could just see Maria Bamford but not in a bad way. Just sort of like, I never heard anything like this thing before.
Yeah.
Where did this man come from?
But when it was all starting, were you telling people this studio is in my garage, this is in my house, or were you just like, yeah, come to my place and giving them the address, and they get there and go, is this
No, a lot of people used to walk in and be like, "Where the fuck am I?" What part of town is this? Because in L.A., there's no reason to go to certain areas, and at that time, no one would even know where that was or why it was. There's areas around L.A. that people never go to, so there was a lot of "What the fuck am I?" Well, what are we doing here? And then people started to come over, they'd be like, "What?" They'd have the same feeling. Then I remember when Cranston came over, he's like, "What is this?" And I'm like, John Hamm was here last week. He's like, "Oh, Hamm was here." So then it validates.
It validates. You're right. The guest list.
Right.
Yeah. So, but over time, everyone got to know the garage, and they were producing their own shows.
Plus, after big, that's such a great one.
Of course.
That everyone can say, every publicist can go to their person and go, Obama was on it.
Was here.
So it's even if it doesn't go on, the publicist is covered. He did interview the president.
Yeah, and it's still weird though, because I don't think, I sold that house. I moved.
Sure.
So I sold the original garage, and the
Obama garage.
The Obama garage,
That's right?
And the realtor was like, we should play that up, and I'm like, I don't care, sure, do it. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom place, less than 1,000 square feet. And it's a great little house, and I just got, it was closing in on me. I got no wife, I got no kids, I got no debt, so I'm like, do I just want to die here and not spend money on anything? So because I thought that would be stupid. Who am I saving the money for?
Right, right.
Leave it to the cats? Leave it to my brother? So anyways. So we used that. They kind of used the idea of the podcast, thinking that a fan would buy it. The guy who bought it had no idea, didn't give a shit.
Really?
No. Yeah, in his mind, he was just sort of it just escalated the price. That's all I know.
Yeah, I read an article that said that the price it went for way above your asking price.
Well, that's L.A. But it was kind of ridiculous.
But they didn't know it was the podcast.
No, they
garage.
knew, but he didn't care.
He didn't.
In his mind, it just meant, I'm buying a special place. So I'm going to get, it's going to cost me more than I want it to cost.
And now there's just a car parked in it.
There's just a car. But the thing about the Obama podcast, literally, the guy I had on after him, or maybe 2 after him, was Voss. Everyone was like... Everybody was like, this is going to change everything. I'm like, nope.
But the problem is Voss had said no until then.
Right. If Obama did it, I'll do it.
We got Voss.
But, I think it was. I think the one after was the talking about, doing the president, and then it was Rich.
So when you buy the new place and now the garage specifically, because before it was just like, I got to put this podcast stuff somewhere. I guess I'll do it in the garage.
Yeah.
Now you're like, I'm going to create a studio in this space.
Well, I mean, the thing is that I always wanted to work out of the garage. You know, the garage in the old house was it was a space. But initially, there was just crap around, bikes, lamps, things, you know, and it was just a table and me sitting there with these big mics on little, you know, podium stands. they didn't even fit them well. But when I bought the house, the new place had mostly been redone. You know, there was a bathroom out there, which I thought that would be good. They don't have to, you know, they don't have to walk into my house and shit in my bathroom if they need to. That doesn't usually happen, except Glenn Howerton, like that guy. Anyway, he was the only guy. Like,
who's Glenn Howerton?
He's the guy from Always Sunny.
Yeah.
You know, not Charlie, the other guy. He's on that new show, AP Bio. What is it?
AP Bio.
Yeah. Well, he just showed up at my house at the old house. He's like, I'm sorry, but I got to go. And he just, you know, he just blew it up.
You got to respect that.
No, I was like, great.
And that's the old house?
That was the old house.
So you had the Glenn Howerton bathroom.
Glenn Howerton,
the Obama garage,
shit in my bathroom.
Yeah, this is
Marty Allen peed all over my floor, and I don't think he did it intentionally because he was in his 90s, but I'd like to think that he did it.
It was a statement.
Yeah, that just sort of like, fuck this kid. You know, I wanted that to be happening.
Don't you wish Obama would have taken a shit?
I do. I wish he would have come in the house. He didn't come in the house at all. He went right through and right out.
I wonder if that's a security thing.
Of course, it's a security thing. They don't know if I rigged my toilet to, you know, blow poison into his ass. I don't know.
Plus, Obama was known for leaving upper deckers, and they were like, we can't have the president leaving upper deckers in this guy's house. Like,
they travel with a toilet, I think, and you know, he had his own cup, and I still have the cup, but and I put it under a glass dome.
Did you?
Yeah,
that's cool.
Well, no, I mean, why not? I mean, it's a thing. You know,
Did he really travel with his own toilet or no?
I think so. Of course he
does. In that
What
entourage
do you think? They're going to stop at a gas station?
They're worried they're going to put rice in on the toilet seat or whatever that stuff is.
No,
that
they probably have. I don't know if from location to location they have one in.
I think so. I think
they probably got a van with a shitter in it that follows them around.
Yeah, I think they do. It was a pretty big. The thing is that they managed the time very abruptly and tightly, and they did see the thing about that day. The weirdest thing about it, you know, you got about 15, 16 Secret Service. You had about a dozen LAPD. I got snipers on the neighbor's roof, but they set up these things about a week in advance. There's a funny thing, like, because Brendan, like, I was out of town when they were trying to screen the house, and they were looking for a place to put the snipers. And Brendan, these two sniper guys, they show up and they get on the roof of the garage, and Brendan's inside, and they're like jumping on the roof. and outside, the guys are like, I think this is good. And Brendan's like, there's pieces of the ceiling breaking. Not good, not good. But they set up these two independent phone lines. That was the scariest thing. When I got home, there were these two boxes in my second bedroom that looked worn, and I didn't know what they were doing, but they were these two like black large boxes that were kind of humming, and they were hooked up to phone lines. So if all communications went down, they needed those for the president.
Wow.
So to me, that was the eeriest thing because I had to sit with those for like 2 or 3 days.
Wow.
Just like, I hope that doesn't need to be
sure.
used. Yeah. So, but the new garage, when I got there, so it had a bathroom, and the people that owned the house had used it for one of their kids and everything. And I thought this was going to be great.
Yeah.
So, because it was a nice space, there was a bathroom, there was room for my stuff and everything. But now I'm making it. Either way, I set up shop in there, and I'm recording, and there's a horrible echo in there because there's this front room part, like I can hear it, and I'm like, oh fuck, what the fuck what am I going to do now? Because the other garage was so packed with shit, and the ceiling was so low, it had a perfect sound, and this sound I was like, I'm going crazy, and I'm trying to record, and then like I hear a machine like a like it wasn't even a jackhammer, it was some other thing. I didn't even know what the fuck it was, but it sounded like it was right behind my garage, and it was coming right into, and I was like freaking out. I'm like, where the fuck is that? And I'm in like this manic daze of fury, and I walk out into the street of my new neighborhood with my headphones on. I'm walking down the middle of the street looking for the noise, and I see the guys doing it. They're taking down a wall or something, and they look at me. They both stop, and I'm just standing there with these headphones on. They're like, 10 minutes. It'll be 10 minutes. I'm like, okay. Right. And I walk back away. That was my introduction to the neighborhood.
Did you soundproof it, though? Don't you just put that stuff up around?
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So, like, I had a fan, this kid, Julian. He's like, I can help you out. And he made me some panels. he actually built me panels. I think it was the first thing he did. I met him. I had to do a podcast in an external studio in between. I had to interview John Cleese at a place, and this kid was the engineer. And I told him he was a fan. I said, I'm setting him in the garage. He said, let me come take a look at it. We'll try to do something. So he actually built me, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 panels. I got bookshelves. He put a couple on the ceiling and one or two on the side, and we kind of made this space. So the garage is still a garage, but you walk in, you kind of walk around these panels, and you turn a right into like, oh, I know what we're supposed to do here.
Right.
And it's sort of a little more focused.
Right.
So it wasn't really my plan, but like it's kind of cozy and it's kind of quiet, and with without all the clutter around, the conversation seemed like it's less people looking around going like, the fuck is all this shit in here?
Right.
You can actually concentrate on each other and talking.
Yeah, because I had to assume at some point that I had something to do with the magic of the podcast, if there's magic in there, and it wasn't just sort of like, what am I going to do? People are like, how are you going to function without the garage? I'm like, that garage was on the verge of becoming like a sad roadside attraction. Because how dust builds up and little spider webs happen, and it starts to look sad. Like I was wondering, when would I cross that line to where people were walking in going like, ooh, there's a little, you should, I don't know, move or clean up, or like, is that a bug? Like what? Yeah.
Plus, it's the garage, but a lot of people listening, they know where it was.
Yeah,
but it's what you're saying, that nobody will care. They'll still love the new one with the new location.
I think they were nervous when I cut out, but no, they did. They definitely came on board.
When you're doing a show like the Obama show or whatever, one of the big important, I get one shot at this show. Are you paranoid while you're interviewing that it's not recording or technically?
I think we set up 3 recorders.
Did you really? Smart.
Yeah, because I've had that happen. I've lost episodes.
Have you? Yeah. Who'd you lose an episode with? Do you remember?
Yeah. There was I had to do John Hodgman like 3 times for some reason. But what used to happen was, for some reason on GarageBand in the garage, like just out of nowhere, something would tweak, and you'd play it, and it was like robot voice. And we couldn't really figure out what. It was just a technical glitch occasionally. So then we set up a Zoom to back it up. But I've lost a couple from noises. I lost John Hodgman's for a couple of different reasons. Kevin Allison, we did a bust one that was robot voice. Joe Mandy, I lost one of his, and I had to sort of redo it, I think. Or maybe that was the Hodgman one where I labeled it wrong. But, either
what do you do? Do you try to just have a new conversation, or do you hit the same...
No, with John, I had to. I didn't, I don't know. I can't, I don't have it's not like I can go like, I'll just go get my outline.
Right, right.
How much, you do a certain amount of research, though, and you have some information in front of you, and then just kind of just go.
I like to get a sense, I like to, kind of prejudge who I think the person is.
Yeah.
Right? So you look where they're from. Like where'd they grow up? You're like, no, I know that part of the country.
Sure.
Oh, geez, his mother was a what? She's a nurse. That's weird. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And they're like, so you kind of try to build a person.
Right.
So then they come in and they kind of push back on that. Like, I have this idea of who they are in their head. So it's sort of, in my mind, it's sort of like this weird, like, I think I know who you are. And then, defy me to prove to me that you're not who I think you are.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Instead of saying, a lot of people say, I have no preconceived notions. And you're like, no, I absolutely judge him and I build who I think he is. And then he better knock down my theory or that's who he is.
Yeah. Well, they don't feel that, but I think underneath it is like it spurs my interest, and I try not to lead with it. Like that's the biggest problem with doing too much research is you start going like, I heard you. Where'd you hear that? I just read it on your thing.
Yeah.
But some people you got like there's people I've read their book because I knew nothing about them, and it's been a great help because they weren't great talkers. Like if I hadn't read Kim Gordon's book, I don't know what would have happened.
Who's Kim Gordon?
From Sonic Youth.
Okay.
Like I don't know what would have happened. Like I don't know how we would have gotten past 15 minutes. But because she, it was good to know where to go with her.
Some people can talk, but they need to be led, or other people just not amazing interviews where you're talking to them. Some people are just not comfortable talkers.
That's right. And like if you're not a guy that sets up questions, you're sitting there and you're like, so you grew up where'd you grow up and what'd your mom do or whatever, like, however I do it. And they answer the question, then just sit there and look at me. So then then I got to keep fishing for something that'll start a thing going.
Right.
I mean, you got to start the thing going, I do, or else it's going to be sweaty.
You have to. And as a person, like when I am interviewed on doing these things, I know what I hate when I'm interviewing people is when someone won't talk. Like even if I give an answer they don't want, or if it's long-winded, I would prefer that when I'm talking to someone to them giving that one word answer.
Yeah.
Where are you from? Oregon.
Yeah, Yeah, what about that?
Exactly.
Do you like Oregon? What part of Oregon? What'd your house look like? What kind of car did you drive in high school? You know, what were you listening to in that car? Did you live in a basement room? What happened?
Yeah, give us something other than the one word Oregon.
And where does this
Those
lead?
are all my tricks right there. Just make that list when you're starting a podcast.
Yeah. So I listened way back when you had like CM Punk on. I think CM Punk was the first wrestler you had on the show, right?
Colt Cabana.
You had Colt Cabana on first.
Yeah.
So you had. So I'm sure I listened to the Colt one too, but I remember you kind of having no sort of knowledge whatsoever about this whole world. After having
I did not.
Colt and Punk.
That is true.
And
yes.
And
you're correct.
This committee owes Mark an apology.
Shame on you.
And now you had Chavo on, and now you've done Glow. Like, are you kind of surprised at how much the wrestling world has permeated your life in the sense that you have way more knowledge now about pro wrestling
a bit
than
but
the average person.
My talk with you the last time me and Allison were here was, I used as an example of why the show is good and why wrestling fans like it is that when you said, like, if I saw a move post 1986 that was created after that time, I'm out.
You're right, exactly right.
Right. So, like, that to me was like, all right, these guys are watching these freaks.
We didn't have to go, but I get what you...
No. I mean, I kid. But that was a very important moment to know that, like, that the wrestling fans were feeling respected. I think it's good. And, because it is about wrestling, ultimately. And it's also given a lot of people who know nothing about it, which was someone like me before, this sort of respect for it. Because, like, especially, did you watch season 2?
I haven't seen it yet.
No, you didn't get it?
No,
they didn't trust you with it?
They didn't send it to me. Yeah, because I'll send it to all my wrestling blogger friends.
Was not trusted with season 2 of the show.
No.
But, you see a lot more of, like, this season focuses mostly on the production of the television show. But you do see a lot of the communication between the wrestlers in the ring, and you see, how you can kind of read how they're preparing to make moves.
Because now they're supposed to have a little bit of experience, right?
And they do, and there's more wrestling, and there's more thumps. There's more, people dropping on mats. But you can see the kind of orchestration of it, how they, with the women in the ring, how the relationship of wrestlers during a match.
I mean, I'm sure it's just like comedy. Like when you see comedy portrayed on TV shows or movies, and you're like, that's not it.
It's never quite right. I can't remember any time where for some reason something gets sucked out of it, even if it's a comic doing it.
Yeah.
Do you know? Can you figure that out?
I understand completely what you mean, and I don't know why. I guess because even as comedy, it feels very alive when you're doing it, just because you can bomb.
Yeah.
So watching it on TV for some reason, I don't know. It does lose something. Maybe it doesn't feel as alive. I don't know.
It's wild because you can watch like a special. Like if you when was the last time you watched that Richard Pryor live, the first one?
I watched that recently because when I was in LA,
in the red shirt, right?
I went and got a picture taken in front of that venue. I went in Long Beach.
Yeah, but like you see that, it's so visceral, it's so good. But yeah, again, it's because it's really happening. But but with wrestling, I don't. I've certainly grown to appreciate it, but more so, it's like kind of amazing to be. I'm the guy sitting there. I'm the asshole who's got. I represent our gender in a fairly not so great light, but relatively endearing and willing to change on some level. But I'm among these women who are actually learning how to do this stuff.
Right.
So I'm literally the odd man out, and they're all sort of have this sisterhood of wrestling where they're training all day long, and I just walk in and put my dumb bell bottoms on and my boots.
Well, we gotta let Mark go to his next interview.
I do.
Oh,
yep.
Travis is telling us.
I'm getting wrapped up. In my headphones for you.
You got Betty coming later?
Betty's coming in, right after the break.
She's great. She's a very unique thinker. That Betty.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's get her talking.
Okay. I'll ask her where she's from.
But the new season is pretty amazing because you do see a lot of change in a lot of the major characters. Sam is a little surprising. We get a little deeper, more wrestling, and the relationships change. And I love you guys. Always good to see you.
It's good to see you.
June 29th on Netflix, by the way. Glow season 2.
And
Thanks,
Mark
man.
Maron on Twitter, of course. WTFpod.com.
Oh, here it comes.
And we'll take a break.
It comes.
Be right back.
Jim and Sam need a break. More laughter and love in a few minutes. The Tully Show.
I feel like I've learned about you watching your special, Maybe I'm a Man, which is going to be on Comedy Central on June 8th. So you were a man of the world by the time you got back to South Jersey.
Yeah, exactly.
And in my experience, Jersey does not cotton to people.
Oh, no, they hated it. I was like, are you going to recycle that? And I got hit in the face.
Listen to The Tully Show every Saturday at 10 p.m. in the East, 7 p.m. out West, and on demand with the SiriusXM app.
SiriusXM Insight celebrates Father's Day with the Reiners. John Fugelsang talks with 3 generations of the showbiz family, Carl, Rob, and Nick, featuring an exclusive town hall with Rob Reiner.
You must get asked that all the time. Why don't you run for office, Rob?
Well, you know, it's funny. We sat around the family. I polled 40% in my own family. I figure if I can't carry my family, I
Father's Day with the Reiners.
He's really,
I don't know, go wherever they want.
Put her
I
right
don't care.
Yeah, bring in Betty.
Betty Gilpin coming in. The star of Glow.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
Hello, Betty. How are
Welcome,
you?
Betty.
Hey, how are you?
We just had Mark. Are they keeping you and Mark separated?
Yeah, we don't speak.
Good. We want it to be healthy.
No, I'm obsessed with Mark Maron. I kept him at arm's length for the first couple episodes of the first season because I was like, who is this guy? Is this a crabby pirate of a man?
Right.
Do I need this in my life?
Just based on the aesthetic.
Yeah.
Right.
And that he's a crabby pirate of a man.
Right. Okay.
But now I tell him I love him every day.
That's so nice.
Every day.
What changed?
Yeah.
I guess, yes, he's a crabby pirate, but he's also like boy who's mad about having a splinter on the day of his bar mitzvah. Like, he's also like,
right, the vulnerability.
Full of, exactly.
Yes.
He's very vulnerable as well.
And sometimes knowing somebody is crabby is okay if they treat you well. Like a lot of my friends are creeps to other people.
Yes.
But they're good to me.
Yes. And I am also crabby. Like, we share the gene of like being on a porch shelling peas, judging people who walk by,
right?
Like, as 85-year-olds, just like, I don't like that person. So we do well together. Actually.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's good. You just sit there making judgments about people.
Yeah, and our set is a very energetic, Disney songs at 5 a.m. set, and sometimes I'm in the mood for that, and sometimes I'm sitting with Mark being like, this is too much.
Who's singing Disney songs?
The 15 women in the cast.
What songs are you singing?
I mean,
like a whole new world type Disney songs.
World.
Wait, is it part of the show, or are they just doing that?
No. It's like the professionals are setting up the shot, and they're like, a whole new world. Yeah.
Why are they singing?
Because
it's a great question.
I don't understand.
No, I don't either.
I know. It's just a lot of energy.
Right.
It's never like, hey, good morning. Hey, I'll see you later. It's very like, good morning.
Oh.
Yeah.
And your vibe is more like good morning. Like.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I'm singing, but we're also, dressed like insane people. Like,
right.
It would be maybe if we were playing like stern detectives in Seattle, we wouldn't be singing, but our hair is a foot high.
Mm-hmm.
We're in spandex. We're covered in glitter. It kind of lends itself to acting like an insane person.
I see.
Yeah, I guess so. Do you like doing media and press, or do you? Some actors hate it and some people love doing it.
I like kind of long form stuff like this when it has to be like sound bitey, like quick, put your personality in 2 sentences and pose and wink, especially as an actress. Like a lot has to do with like lip gloss, squinty, filtery stuff. And that makes me a little nervous, but I like talking. I'm definitely not one of those actresses who pretends like I was woken up in the middle of the night and forced to be an actress.
Well, these are fun. Like I like just having a conversation too, or just talking. I'm horrible. No, but just chatting. I enjoy chatting with someone. I wouldn't say that's bragging. I'm really good at it. That's bragging.
Yeah.
But no, like some people hate. I hate short form 7-minute things too. I'm terrible at them.
Yeah.
I'm fucking horrible.
I was thinking about that. I was watching like an interview you guys did for one of the morning shows. I think it was for season 1, but it was you and Allison and Mark, and you had 4 minutes, and there were 3 hosts with you.
Yes.
And you're just like, why am I here, and how do I do this?
Yeah, it's scary. It's scary. And Allie and Mark have done this kind of thing much longer than I have. So I definitely, in those situations, I'm like, oh, I'll just be quiet. And then sometimes she'll just throw me a question. I'm like, all right. I was born, like, I don't know how to condense it.
You just make sounds.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, have you ever do it when you're giving an interview and you realize I'm talking way too much?
Yes.
This is a long answer for a short question.
Yeah.
I'm talking about New Jersey. Nobody gives a fuck. Why am I doing this?
Yes, yeah. Or you get ideas that are insane. Like there's a representative in your brain like typing out the sentences that you're saying, and then other people in your brain are like handing them sentence suggestions, and you're like, what? Why would I ever say that would end my career if I said that?
And now it's the only thing I can think of.
Yes, yeah. Now it's just replaying in my head.
Yeah, once in a while, and you're trying to squeeze it in without actually saying it. Yeah, it's very difficult sometimes to do a short one where you have one or two things you have to say and you're talking with other people. It almost feels like they're being really interesting and I'm not being interesting. It's very, I hate that.
Yeah, it's weird. But I thankfully, I love both of them so much. So it kind of feels like a coalition of, I don't know how. And I also love talking about the show, and I love the things that the show stands for. I can't imagine if it was like, Alaska Space Hospital, like if it was some sort of thing where I had to be like, now more than ever, Alaska Space Hospital. So I thankfully am passionate about the show.
So what are you going to do, or do you think about this, or have you been on sets before, when you leave Glow, when it's done?
Yeah.
And you're done singing and everything, you get to your next gig or whatever it is, and because I would imagine that most series don't start with Disney songs and hey everybody and we love each other and like there's tension.
Especially now, it kind of feels like sometimes we have female showrunners and it's a cast of 15 women and Mark, and it can sort of feel like we're this like futuristic feminist Montessori biodome.
I see.
And then you leave and you're like, this is the whole world now. And then I'm back to sort of auditioning for Tits on Wheels with no lines. I'm like, oh, right. The whole world isn't like this. Not everyone's. Yeah.
Do you have to call the character Tits on Wheels?
No, that's the show title.
Oh,
that's the show title.
And you have the lead role.
Exactly.
So
You're
this
Tits
is
One.
big.
Tits One and Tits on Wheels. Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, no, but I do think things are slowly changing. I think especially now that it's like the Salem witch trials of being woke.
Yeah.
Like people are, even the broiest bros are like, we love Gloria Steinem. Like everyone's trying to be.
Well, have you had that, like, as a woman in Hollywood, have you had that, like, not even overt acts, but just have you sensed like, oh, that guy's fucking like, are there creepy things that are happening to actresses that most guys wouldn't notice because we're not in that situation?
Yeah, of course. Yes. I mean, I think that is the biggest surprise of all of this for me, is the surprise of my male friends. I'm like, that happens? Like it's like a toll that you have to pay, having the feeling of a meaty bro paw on the small of your back. You're like, there it is.
You know what? By the way, one of my
the feeling
exes,
of success.
One of my exes told me about that. She's like, I fucking hate, because she really hates men, and she really does. But she's like, I fucking hate when men touch me. And I never forgot that she said that. She's like, they guide you back. And I watch at the gym sometimes. It's fun to watch a trainer doing all this weird touching, and I'm like, I guess that would be annoying. It never occurred to me.
Well, the fact that it doesn't happen to you means that it's not just a trainer being a trainer.
Right, exactly. My trainer never, I tried to get her to touch me.
Totally.
She refuses.
There's something in the small of my back that I think
I don't
if
care.
you could guide.
I don't care if it's a lump. I'm not touching it.
Yeah. And it's always guys that look like, it's never George Clooney looking men. It's always guys that look like eagle abortions, when you're like, this is you look like Santa's brother who did heroin for 6 years. Like, what, you're hitting on me right now.
Well, just say Artie. Now, does that make a difference if the guy, not I mean overt thing, but like little moments like that, does it help if the guy looks like George Clooney at all, or does it not matter?
No, a creep is a creep. Is a creep is a creep.
But I think also creeps so often look like creeps because they didn't get laid in high school.
Right.
They could never rely on their looks or personality, so they get into these positions of power. And then that's what they do. They use the power.
Predators, and they're using you to audition the memoir version of themselves, when their real life is that they're sad in a basement farting into their cashmere pajamas while their wife yells at them.
Right.
They're like, I'm gonna like flirt with you at Crafty and make you feel small and sad, and that's gonna make me feel good today.
So you think they're being kind of who they see themselves, who they want to be, because you're on set and they're in a position of power, like, oh, I can behave this way with you, but I can't do this stuff at home.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I can't pretend to know what a brociopath feels. But yeah, they're super disgusting.
Have you had to say something to somebody? Have you ever said like, "Whoa, enough"?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, for sure. And it also, I think this time is making me feel braver and more vocal. And I think Glow has sort of been this like perfectly timed kind of bravery training camp for me, feminist wise, and creatively, that I realized that I've wasted so many jobs feeling scared and silent, and like I was going to get fired if I didn't sort of silently accept the weird flirtations that were happening. And it made me be like, oh, I'm scared to do that weird choice that I was going to do in this scene, because I guess my job is to be like quiet hot girl for this part and not like the crazy character that I wanted to sort of play. And I realized I was getting in my own way with that. So now I try to walk onto sets setting a precedent of like, I'm here to do my job, and I'm going to do the weird choice on the first take and just get weirder and weirder from there.
Does the physicality help that on Glow? The fact that you guys are all doing stunts and fighting and
yes, totally. Yes. On like, yeah, in other jobs, I exercised, but like it was all for the beach. Like I would think of wide shots as like, okay, I'm Betty sucking it in, being here in my tiny costume, and then I can act when it's the close up. And in Glow, my whole body is being required to do powerful, functional things instead of like posy Barbie things, and that has been so freeing and empowering, and makes me feel like the character from head to toe instead of like character from head to collarbone and Betty from collarbone to toes.
Right, that makes sense because you're acting with your whole body.
Yes.
What did you do in Ghost?
Ghost?
I'm sorry, Ghost Town, the Gervais movie.
I was the pottery wheel in Ghost.
I was about to say Ghost. I meant Ghost Town because I love that movie. I love Gervais. I love that. I love that. I cried on a plane. What? I had to turn that. I was crying on a plane watching that so hard. I had to fucking turn it up behind my sunglasses like a psychopath.
Well, Jim has a lot of. Happens when you're on a plane because you are more emotional watching things because you're above your whole life and away from everyone you love.
You're probably connected, earphones, monitors, smoke.
Yes.
Jim's also got severe emotional distress.
Yes,
God, me too.
So yeah,
I was literally. I'll never forget that. Just sunglasses rule, but I was weeping behind sunglasses watching that movie.
So I was the World War II nurse Ghost. I think I had 2 lines.
Oh, okay.
I was probably the part you cried the hardest. It was probably the part that you were most affected by. Remember that part?
No.
Yeah, no, I think you remember.
Oh, you're the nurse.
Yeah.
Oh, that was when I turned it off. I'm like, I cannot handle this anymore.
It's too much emotion.
No, but I remember that movie made me cry. Weird things made me cry, and that movie made me cry. I never actually finished the movie. I got like 80% through, and there was one reveal, and I was just a blubbering ass.
What
I'm
was
like,
it?
Enough. Something about the woman, Gervais realized that somebody had been dead the whole time, or that was her husband who had been dead. I don't remember what it was, but he realized something about the woman in the movie, and I was like, oh.
It made you cry.
A blubber. Cry, no. Just leaking out of my dumb eyes. And
right.
Dumb eyes.
Dabbing it.
Charming.
Yeah. I know. But I remember that night. I should watch that movie again.
So we were talking to Mark, and he was talking about how there's more wrestling in this season.
Yeah.
Was that a scary thing for you guys in the sense that like?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely do I would say the most wrestling this season. Mark doesn't do shit.
No, Mark.
He does have the easiest gig, doesn't he?
100%.
Right.
Yeah, I'm slamming my neck into the ground, and then they're like, "Mark, we're gonna catch a piece of you, so just roll your eyes." No, but I wrestle a bunch this season. I get to wrestle Kia Stevens, who's the girl in our cast who's an actual pro wrestler. Among other people I get to wrestle, I won't spoil, but it's wrestling a pro wrestler is the funnest thing ever because she just puts you it feels like swimming. Like you'd think it'd be more painful, but she just puts you exactly where you need to be and throws you and makes you look like you're the most powerful, strongest person.
Like she knows how not to hurt you.
Totally,
like you're probably more likely to get hurt by another actor because a wrestler knows exactly how to throw you, exactly how to pick you up.
I mean, that's the unique thing about wrestling is not only does she know how to not hurt you, but she knows what to do with her body so it looks like you're kicking the shit out of her.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. And although when I wrestle Allie Brie, because I'm bigger than her, I do most of the like throwing moves and power moves, and I sort of decide when a move is happening because I'm sort of the base. But wrestling Kia, she's so much stronger than me, and so that was the first time I got like tossed around like a rag doll. We fight in episode 4, and she treated me like I had no bones. It was.
Have you gotten hurt?
Yeah, I have. It's not safe. But yeah, it just feels basically like 100 fender benders in a row. Like the adrenaline when you're doing it, even though the crowd is being paid to cheer, they're still cheering,
Sure.
and you feel like you could lift a car. And then the next day you're like, oh, that hurt so much. All of it hurt.
So is it just the bumps and bruises? No actual like injuries?
I mean, I definitely got my bell rung a couple times,
Yeah.
like stood up and saw stars for sure. But then the ham gene comes in. It's like, don't stop performing. But yeah, it's like playing, you know, a tiny football game. Like you're ramming your head into things and people are jumping on you. And there are definitely moments where moves happen, you're like, I'm either gonna try and get up and every bone in my body is broken, or I'm totally fine. And so far, knock wood, I've been totally fine.
But people watching too, like you said, even though they're extras and they're paid, you still have people watching you. So you don't want
Yeah.
to, you don't want to,
Yes.
you don't want to look like you don't know what you're doing, or
Yes.
like you're easy,
Yeah.
like, oh, this
Yes.
fucking snowflake. You want to look like
yes,
it's.
exactly. Yeah. I know the ego comes in and pride, and yeah. I never understood it. I never understood sports or anything, and certainly never understood wrestling, but I have such respect for it now. I know you're a wrestling fan, right?
I am.
Yes.
I am.
He's a bandwagon fan, though. He's a Hulkamaniac.
I do. I just jump onto whatever's popular.
So yes, did you? So you didn't watch any sports growing up?
I mean, I grew up in a house of boys. My brothers loved football. My dad loved it. And I just never, I was like, I felt so cringy watching it. And I, you know, my least favorite part was when like the retired football players would be commentators and be like, well, in my day, and I thought that's how being coached by wrestlers would be, sort of that their ego and pride coming into it. But wrestling, there's so much vulnerability and ego swallowing that goes into it at the start. Yeah. So they're the kindest, most wonderful, giving people. Like your job as a wrestler is to be vulnerable. There's nothing more vulnerable than to stand in a glitter diaper and fight for justice. And then, like, you know, when someone touches you, you have to act like they're the most powerful person to ever touch you. So it's not, there's no ego in it whatsoever.
No, and you're completely trusting somebody else with your body.
Yes.
Like they could kill you.
Yeah, 100%.
You just have to trust that they're going to be professional. It's so funny when people first start to wrap their head around what wrestling actually is, because you're like, everybody thinks this is fake. Why don't you do this much faker? Like this hurts way too much.
Yeah. The first time I took a back bump, which is when you land on your back, I was like, oh, I did it way wrong. That hurt a lot. And Chavo Guerrero Jr. was like, no, you did it. That's it.
It's going to hurt.
Yes, it's going to hurt every time.
Once you heard that it was the outcome was predetermined, you're right. You forget that. Oh yeah, this does hurt. You're still being thrown off a top rope.
Yes,
you're still being slammed on the ground
onto plywood with canvas wrapped over it.
Yeah,
right. Yes. No, it's so unsafe. And even though it's predetermined, it's a ton of improv.
Absolutely.
I mean, we don't do improv. We choreograph every second because they're afraid of breaking the actresses. But in pro wrestling, they're whispering to each other. I mean, I don't want to talk. Oh God,
don't
be
Do you go to actual like all these wrestling matches and into real ones now?
We went to a SmackDown event in LA, and we saw a real thing happen where a guy. Did you see this?
I'm sure.
I forget who the Irish duo.
Sheamus and Cesaro.
Yes. Yeah. One of them slammed his teeth into
you were there for that.
Yes, in the front row.
Oh my God!
Slammed his teeth into a turnbuckle and pushed his two front teeth up into his gums.
Did he really? That was a mistake.
Really happened.
And he gets slammed. He hits the post. He goes mouth first. His two front teeth go up into his gums, like they get crammed up there, and he finishes the match like that. It's just blood coming out of his mouth. He finishes the match, and then he comes back, and like I was back there for that because I think I was working. I was hosting the pre-show for that show.
Oh wow!
And and he's just walking around like he kind of smiling. I was like, are you all right? That looked brutal, man. He's like, oh, thanks.
It was
And
one of the sexiest things I've ever seen.
Yeah,
for sure.
They have to take like pliers and pull, like get doctors.
Oh.
Doctors, of course, have to do it.
Yeah.
Pull his teeth down, and then he had to like wear braces for a while, and
And
everything
we felt-
good. Everything's fine now, but
Yeah, we felt so inside baseball. It was the whole Glowcast sitting in the front row. And we were like, oh, wow, what a great gag. I wonder where they hid the blood. And then he walked over when no cameras were on him, and he came close to us to like check his mouth, and blood poured from his mouth. We were like, that is the gnarliest, realest fucking thing. Yeah.
Because I mean, I didn't even know teeth could do that.
No,
They just got-
apparently they can
I
just
did, but
go
it-
up into your gum.
It beats getting knocked out though and having two fucking miscolored fake ones put in.
Yes.
Right, and this is wrestling. That's exactly what it was. They were like, oh my god, I think his two front teeth got knocked out, and once they figured out what it was, they're like, oh no, they just got knocked up there. We can just pull them back down.
How far up did they go? Like, would you say
Like
that?
it looked like they were gone.
Oh,
It was like 3/4 of the tooth
Okay.
was gone.
So there was a lot. I wonder if it hurt when they pulled him down. It must have hurt.
Yes.
I bet it felt great.
I hope they numbed him up. I hope they numbed him up a little
Yeah, it
bit.
actually is not tickled. It,
surprised.
it itched a little bit.
Certain
that's
things
all.
look like they hurt, but they do feel good. You know, that's the way it is.
Is that right?
You bet.
Put that on a pillow.
Yeah, you bet it is. All right, well, they tell how many, what do we have, 2 minutes left? Oh, we have 2 minutes. Okay. We should promote the show.
Yes.
Great.
Glow, season 2 is on Netflix the 29th.
Yeah.
What did you do before you acted? We only have 2 minutes left. I know your father's an actor. Did you always want to act or no?
Yes, both my parents are actors, and they did mostly. I grew up in New York, and they did mostly theater. So I kind of grew up like sitting in stage managers' booths, watching their plays over and over and over again, and giving notes to the actors as an 8-year-old, which I'm sure no one appreciated. And they begged me to do anything else, and the rule was I had to go to college before I worked professionally, and I couldn't go to a conservatory. I think they were hoping I would fall in love with math or Spanish, which I didn't. I was very stoned throughout all my Spanish and math classes. But I went.
Why didn't they want you to do it? It's just hard life.
I wouldn't want my kids to do it. Yeah, it's a ton of rejection, and, you know, it's scary and unstable. And even when it seems like it's stable, it's unstable. But you know, I definitely have no other skills. So.
I can pretend to be other people pretty good.
Yeah.
But other than that,
That's it.
nothing.
Yeah.
I have no other ones either, or that one.
But you're really great at chatting.
I love to chat. I love a good chat.
Yeah, let's hope that chatting can get us all health insurance.
Well, we figured it out.
Great.
Betty, you're a delight.
Yeah.
You're a delight.
Glow season 2 is available on Netflix on June 29th.
Oh my God.
Betty Gilpin on Twitter, Gilpin on Twitter.
Yes.
And yeah, good luck with it, and congratulations on season 1 being so successful.
Thanks so
Yeah.
much.
And we'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Yep.
Stay tuned. Handsome Rob walks in today wearing a Black Sabbath t-shirt.
They're my second favorite band.
Oh, really? Who's your first favorite band?
Metallica.
I figured it depends on who's asking you. Well, my first favorite band? Rob Zombie. I like Rob Zombie and
Jack White.
and Black Sabbath, except then if Jim asks you, no, Black Sabbath's my first favorite band. Rob Zombie's my second favorite band.
Yeah, flip-flops.
Yeah, that's right. Depending.
We should do some Black Sabbath trivia for Rob.
It's his second favorite band.
Yeah.
It's my second favorite band.
You know
Are
a lot
they?
about them?
I know a lot about their music, or a lot of their music.
Okay, Jim, do you have any
Hold
good...
Oh, nice.
what song is this?
Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath.
Why would you say
Oh,
it?
I think you were asking me.
Yeah, Jim.
What are you shit? You shit-loafed that
I thought
one.
you were asking me.
Here's a deep pull.
Sorry.
You didn't know...
That's
Where
not
are you
hard.
going?
Jim knows it.
Oh,
sorry.
Rob did not know the answer. You did not. You saw him,
All
right,
right,
Troy?
play the next
hang on,
song.
hang on a second,
Hold
hang on a
play
second.
the next song on this record.
What album is this song on?
Oh, hold on. Your mic's not on.
Go back to where you were.
Hold on. Play the next song on this record and see if he knows the name. Okay. Song 2.
Well,
one of my
I gotta
favorite
figure
songs
it out
ever.
first. I can just look it up on my phone.
And there's just no return.
Keep singing while I do this.
Yeah, you really have a voice like an angel.
The hands of doom to take your life away.
I hope he gets the lyrics wrong.
I always get the lyrics wrong. Though.
Cocky schmuck. What album is this on? Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath?
Yeah.
All right, well, that
It's
was
the title track off the record.
That was an easy one. Ozzy, are you here too?
Do you got it, Travis? It's one of the best songs ever. All right, we'll see if he knows song 2.
Okay. Do you know what song 2 is? I mean, if you're that big of a fan, you should know.
I mean, I know this song.
But you don't know off the top of your head what's the second song on that album?
No, not
Okay.
That's
not
okay.
off the top of my head.
That's okay.
Jim, you knew.
Yeah.
Oh, National Acrobat.
You know what? They absolutely 100% know Sabbath.
That's good.
To recognize that that's not at all a well-known Sabbath song unless you're a Sabbath fan.
I've heard this song before. I didn't know the title.
Yeah, I walked out to my HBO special this.
That's
awesome.
probably where I know it from.
I love this song.
It's a fucking amazing.
I know you do.
Sam, you just know it because
Metallica
you're a big
redid
Jim
it.
Norton fan.
That's right.
Yep.
Can I ask a Metallica question?
Metallica's his first favorite. That's going to be even easier.
Who's the drummer?
Oh, shit.
Lars Fredriksson?
Who was
That's right.
who was on Kill 'Em All, but then was kicked out of the band?
Dave Mustaine.
What was the last?
You could know that from the stupid documentary
Sure.
they did.
All right, who's the bassist that died?
Oh, Cliff Burton.
There you go.
What was the last record he played on?
Was it Ride the Lightning?
Nope.
It was
Master of Puppets.
Master of Puppets? He was on Master of Puppets?
Yes.
You don't know anything, Rob.
You're right.
You're so stupid.
Yeah, Rob, you are totally faking it, obviously.
All right, what band did Tony Iommi play with when he briefly left Sabbath?
Jethro Tull.
Fuck yes.
Fucking A.
Young Rob is a ball of knowledge.
All right.
Yeah, he is.
Good
My
for
favorite
Rob.
Sabbath album is Sabotage.
Why you know so much about stuff
Awesome.
that happened before you were born?
I
He's a
don't
good boy, that's why. That's why. He's a good boy.
musically, I just like
Who are your influences? I mean, like, who in your life?
my brother.
Right.
My brother was
Your older
he's-
brother.
Yeah, he's 5 years older than me. He's a huge Metallica fan.
And you come
Ozzy
home with
fan.
your fucking Lou Bega Mambo No. 5.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, no more gay shit in the house.
Yeah, I
Listen
come
to
home
this.
with Backstreet Boys, and he's like, "What are you doing?"
He was wrong, by the way.
Yeah. Oh,
Backstreet's back, all right?
exactly.
Now, what's your favorite song on Sabotage?
Maglomania.
That seems like a deep pull.
It is. I would say Symptom of the Universe is my favorite.
Symptom of the Universe is right there.
Hole in the Sky is no shit show either.
Thrill of It All.
Oh.
Which is the one where they go, listen, all
You know
y'all,
what?
it's a Sabotage.
It might be Thrill of It All. It's
Thrill
my
of It
favorite
All
song.
is awesome.
That might be my favorite song on the
That
record.
beginning.
It's fucking incredible. Put on Thrill of It All, Travis, or I'll bite your nose
All right,
off
what
and
kind of
fuck
train
your
do they
mouth.
sing about?
Crazy.
That's it.
No, they don't.
That's Ozzy.
That's Ozzy's
I don't
solo.
know. Yeah.
Jim
1980.
got venomous.
Yeah.
They don't sing about a train.
Yeah. What are you
That's
talking
stupid.
about?
You sound so
Sam?
stupid right now.
Idiot.
Oh, I'm such an idiot.
Iommi has never played that riff.
No? God, so stupid.
That's Randy Rhoads.
Yes. He passed away.
The American Dream?
Yeah. Hot time.
Hot time. Gonna play with Black Sabbath.
Yeah. Hot time. Stepping into Oz's world. Yeah. Thrill of It All is a great one. You can't not be a Black Sabbath fan and pull Thrill of It All.
Rob seems like a legitimate Black Sabbath
Oh, he
fan.
is.
I still think he wore the T-shirt to impress you.
No,
but-
no,
If
not at all.
I would have worn the T-shirt like
He
in
would've.
the beginning of my coming on to joining the show.
You're what?
When I was coming.
When you were coming on to you.
When you were coming on to Jim?
When I was coming on to Jim.
It would have worked too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Handsome boy in a Black Sabbath T-shirt?
Absolutely, a young twink in a fucking Volume 4 shirt. Oh, this is so good.
Rob, you gonna go see Ozzy's last tour?
Yes. I've seen him 3 times.
If I don't have anyone to go with,
You won't.
How dare you, Travis? You didn't finish that statement.
I'm just enjoying. I'll get us good tickets.
Yeah.
Because Sharon, because she canceled her interview, so she wrote me an apology email.
Sharon!
And she's like, you better be coming to see Ozzy when he comes around. I might meet you there, though.
Would you go?
If I'm going with him, I'll probably meet you. I'd go with you.
I get that.
Just meet you at the show.
Yeah.
Who would you go with?
Well, if Ozzy needs a friend to travel with.
I see. What if Ozzy wants to hang out backstage? Will you and a friend go backstage?
No.
It's a little bit of a bummer, huh?
What if Ozzy has to tinkle on the ride over?
Oh, when he fucking pissed in that fucking jar, I've never had a better moment in my life. We're in L.A. going from Anaheim back to L.A. and he fucking is kneeling in his seat, pissing into a jar.
You
while
loved
we're
it?
doing- it's
One of the most
happiest I've-
successful rockers ever.
It's the happiest I've ever been. I've never been happier than that moment.
Jim's been kind enough to take me to see and meet and hang out with Sabbath a couple times too.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, in Chicago.
Chicago. We went to dinner with. I went to dinner with Jim and Black Sabbath.
That's right. Yeah, we went to that dinner. But Iommi told me to sit down, and he was with a girl. I sat down and talked his ear off for an hour. Poor Tony.
And I just sat there by myself eating my dinner.
I didn't care. I'm like, it's Tony Iommi. I mean, like, But he's nice though. Every time he's really a nice guy. Like he's like he doesn't feel fake. Like he's always lovely when I see him. But how do you not? I told Florentine, I'm like, I panicked. I just kept talking to him. He's like, you gotta.
No, you did the right thing. You did the right
Would
thing.
you have talked his ear off at dinner? You
Oh
have
my
to.
God, I would have.
I've also had
Absolutely.
lunch with him though, so had a couple of meals with Tony.
And you know what's neat though to see is they legitimately love Jim.
Right.
Like when they see Jim, they're like, Jim. That's awesome.
Yeah, it makes me happy.
That's
that
great.
little kid in you just has to be so excited.
Yeah, I'm very happy.
Yeah, I mean, if Rob Zombie was like, hey, come sit down, I'd be like, I don't care what you and Sherry were talking about before, because now it's me. I'd talk to Sherry too, though.
Yeah, I didn't know who the
Right, it's not like-
I didn't know if it was a girlfriend or a friend. I didn't even know who she was.
Rob's very much associated with his wife, so I would talk to both of them.
Yeah.
Although he's a vegetarian.
Yeah.
So we probably wouldn't match, our palates wouldn't match, but I'd pretend.
But would you still take advantage of that moment and chat away?
I would, and you'd see me. It'd be such an uncomfortable... You would know, but I would try to be disguising it, but you'd be watching me. I'd be eating all my food, but not chewing. Because like, if I have to get something down, I can't chew it. That's where it gets to be trouble. But I'll take bites, and I'll just put it in my mouth and just swallow it. And you'd be watching me because I'd want to impress Rob Zombie.
Wait, you can't...
Swallowing food without chewing it.
What are you, a fucking snake?
Do you
What's wrong with
shit
you?
out like full pieces?
No, I don't. I generally chew food. I just eat the food that I like.
Right.
But if I'm ever in a situation, I normally don't have a problem. I think most of you guys have seen me at places where like the food will come and I just won't eat it. Like it doesn't bother me whatsoever.
You dissect everything too.
Don't care.
Yeah.
But
Wait, why won't you eat it?
I don't like it.
Like you
Yes.
dissect chips
What's that?
at like downstairs at Chipotle. I'll
What's
see
that?
you just like go like that, and then you just put it in your mouth.
Look at because I want to look at which side is the right salted side, so I can put it
on your tongue.
That's
I
right.
do that.
Do you?
Do you really? A couple of dumb deer?
Yeah. Well, what I'll do is if I have a chip,
We're not deer.
and I put it in my mouth the wrong side,
I'll put a chip in your mouth.
Shut up. I'll make a note of that, and I won't make that mistake.
Well,
again.
yeah, that's an error I made, and it won't happen again.
You want salt on the tongue side?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
I do get it.
It
I love
excites
it.
the-
Salty fuck. What's better than lime tortilla chips?
Oh, nothing.
I'll fucking...
They're so good.
I could literally eat a whole bag of those and just pinch my tits.
You don't need salsa or anything.
No,
nothing.
for me, I like that. I'm a dipper, though. I like to dip.
Maybe the boys should go to Chipotle today.
What's that?
Chipotle day.
What's that?
It might be a
Chipotle
Chipotle
day.
day. Yeah. But yeah, so like, but if I'm in a scenario where, for whatever reason, like, there's only a handful of them, but like, if I was eating with Vince McMahon or Rob Zombie or somebody like that, and I wanted this person to not sit there and watch me not eat, I would not chew the food. I would just sit there, and I'd be like, and like drinking water with the bite and swallowing, and I would just intake.
Why does the chewing fuck you up? What is that? Is it the feeling in your mouth? You don't like it?
Yeah, it's just like I need it to be done as quick as possible because if it elongates at all, I'll start thinking about it and then I'll have a physical reaction. And that, my friends, would be embarrassing. Is this Black Sabbath?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just the second half of this song is so awesome. When it
Rob Zombie makes songs that the whole song is awesome.
No, well this yeah.
That's right. Thanks to these guys, he does.
Yeah.
Thanks to these guys.
I'm Black Sabbath's influence on White Zombie is not lost on me. I saw Rob Zombie and Ozzy tour together at the Garden.
I'll never forget Rob Zombie saying to me, I'm like, during an interview, I'm like, I just want Ozzy to remember my name once and say hello. He goes, it'll never happen.
Rob said
he
that?
He doesn't remember my name. Yeah, Rob said that himself. But he's wrong. He was joking with me, but he said Ozzy would never remember me. I'm so happy he was wrong.
That's right.
Rob Zombie's, I enjoy him a lot, though. He's fun to watch live. He's great live.
Rob Zombie's amazing live.
Yeah.
He still does his whole show.
Turn that down just a bit, Travis. Team it down. Teeny bit. Thank you.
The whole show he's always done. He still does it. He must do some kind of crazy-ass yoga or something to stay in shape.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
He is.
His songs stand the test of time, too. I mean,
Yeah.
so does Sabbath, obviously, but... But like, you listen to a Rob Zombie song now, and it's just like from the 90s, and you're like, oh, shit, this is still really good.
Yeah. Anything White Zombie, and probably, I think for most people, at least his first two solo albums still stand. For me, it goes farther than that, but for, I think, the general public, definitely his first two solo
I would
albums.
agree with that because I stop at the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Educated Horses is a very underrated album. That album is great. American Witch is on there.
Well, isn't Blasco played with Ozzy too? And
Yes.
And didn't is Robbie Tommy Clufitos? Didn't he play with Zombie? Yeah. So he's got half his band.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got John 5 with him now, Rob.
Who's John 5?
He came from Marilyn Manson, I think.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah, Rob's going back on tour with Manson.
I like watching Manson live. He's fun, man. Have you seen Marilyn Manson live?
No, he sounds terrible.
No, but I like he's fun live. I enjoy watching him
I'm
live.
sure he's fun live, but he sounds...
Oh, you don't think he sounds good?
No.
Oh, I enjoy him.
Does he still break bottles over his chest?
He hasn't really kept his body in shape over the years. Which
He's
I
Manson.
think,
He's probably fucking.
yeah, but I mean his whole body. I mean, like his voice just doesn't sound good anymore.
I don't know. I saw him in Rock on the Range a couple years ago. I thought he sounded great, but I'll have to watch him again. I loved it.
How amazing is that Antichrist Superstar album?
It's amazing.
It's a masterpiece.
A
You ever
masterpiece.
hear Beautiful People?
Is that on there? Is that Manson?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, it's incredible. His performance at the MTV Awards is single-handedly one of the best things I've ever seen on TV.
What did he see? What did he do?
This is how great MTV was back then. This is like, and I know it's like the worst thing in the world for us to be like, oh, when we were growing up, MTV was the best. But just watching it, it's the same award show. It's the year that Big E died. So the award show opens with P. Diddy in his white suit and Sting is singing and he's like, you know, every step I take. And it's this kind of, whatever, it's this performance. The show ends with Marilyn Manson in like a bustier with Nazi imagery, just scaring every parent ever.
Let's see it again. What year is this?
99? 98?
98, I think.
That's it.
Probably 98.
This shit just doesn't happen anymore.
No way.
Marching band.
And there's all American flags everywhere.
Yep.
He was just anti-everything.
Yeah.
And he's in a fur coat. He comes out in a fur coat like a lady.
Yeah.
He was scary.
Very scary.
97.
97, wow.
Oppressed by the fascism of Christianity.
He even spoke like he sang.
Yeah.
Fascism of
That's so cool. If you're 14, 15 years old,
this is cool.
It's the greatest fucking thing you could ever see.
I was 16 when this came out, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Because he had a fur coat on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminded you and your cat.
But let me ask you.
What is he doing?
You want to be in a place that's filled with a bunch of
He said assholes. That's cool. He cursed on TV.
Yeah.
Cursing on TV is fucking cool still
I'm
to
like,
this
no,
day.
I don't want to be with assholes.
Not at all. And now look at the job you're doing.
Yeah, Twiggy Ramirez.
Twiggy was awesome.
Is he still with him?
No.
No, Twiggy's gone.
And then he came back, and then his ex-wife accused him of rape, and Marilyn Manson kicked him out of the band.
Ooh.
This was like last year.
Rape will do that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Even Marilyn Manson frowns upon rape.
Marilyn Manson doesn't like rape. He's anti-rape, too.
2 years ago, it was my cousin's wedding, and my brother, my cousin, and I were coming back from golf that morning, and this song came on the radio, and my brother thought that whole it went on for like 3 minutes because he downloaded a Kazaa.
That's the best.
And it just was it was hilarious.
This album's
Yeah.
It's good.
The whole album is incredible. But this song is like untouched. This song holds up, too.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
And a lot of his like core fans didn't like the album after this one with Dope Show.
Yeah.
I thought that was great too.
Mechanical Animals?
Yeah.
People weren't ready for it, though. They weren't ready for the
Look at him, he's
electronic
dressed like
influence.
Frankenfurter. I mean,
Yeah.
he's literally just wearing drag. Wearing fucking thigh highs and stuff.
Well, his ass cheeks are also very much exposed.
Yeah, he was kind of ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
The whole
And I don't
gender
think
issue.
you'll ever see anything like this again.
No. And listen to his voice, man.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
He's definitely on top of his game here.
Yeah.
Voices are awesome.
Peak Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was really interesting.
Didn't he just fall off a stage? Or
He did.
Right?
Yeah.
Look at those cheeks.
Yeah, not bad. They're not great cheeks.
Nah.
No, but it's just awesome that a rock star's naked.
Wearing drag.
Yeah.
When I saw him live, he did cocaine on the stage.
Oh, I don't go
That's
for
a little
that.
much.
Yeah.
That's a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when it's like, oh, this isn't just a show. This is real. He's actually.
Yeah, and then I went backstage to meet him.
Yeah.
Because I was working for the promoter at the time, and he's like, "Oh yeah, come back and meet him." No makeup on, didn't have a shirt on, just had basically like pretty much his underwear on. Mm-hmm. And he couldn't figure out whether to stand up or sit down, and it was just he only had a couple candles in the room, lit all the lights were out.
Yeah, it's very black in his dressing room.
It's very strange. It felt really kind of eerie. I was just like,
Yeah.
I had him sign something, and I was like,
I don't think I want to be here anymore. Yeah.
I met him once. He and I used to email, and then we started texting. And
That's
then
awesome.
Yeah, we were texting, and he would send me these bizarre texts late at night, like with weird videos. And then I wanted to. He was at Rock at the Range when I was, so I'm like, hey man, I'm here. If you're around after the show. And he goes, no, come now. So I went to his dressing room with Kenny before the show, and it's all blackout curtains, and like you said, candles. And Kenny comes in and is just standing there. And Marilyn goes, who is he? So he made Kenny leave. So I
He
just,
did make Kenny leave?
Yeah, it was too weird. So I sat there with him for a little while and talked, and he ate his salad.
Kenny was too weird for Marilyn
Yes.
Manson.
I love that.
And then we came back after the show.
Yeah, I don't like
and
it. I don't like that guy's energy.
Lovely girls backstage. It was fun, man.
The end of this performance, when the crowd has no idea what they just watched.
No, and he's just posing. He's doing that weird face.
There's they're kind of clapping, like his fans are loving it, but the majority of the people are just like, what the fuck was that?
This was such a limited run.
Yep.
This was only, look at, and then they just fuck everything up.
Awesome.
2 years
I don't
later.
like breaking up the music, though. Don't break up the drums. You're going to need those for your next show.
2 years later, it would be rock
Those are
rap.
expensive.
It would be rock rap, followed by boy bands. It was just, that was that.
Yeah. But that was kind of, back then, it was like, holy shit, he fucking, oh no, yeah, come on. Paul Stanley did that every show. Like his guitar.
Yeah, but were parents afraid of Paul Stanley?
Of Kiss?
Yeah.
Kiss?
Yeah.
Were
Yeah.
they?
Knights in Satan's Service?
Yeah, Kiss in the 70s, Kiss was seen as a very, there were cartoons, but yeah, a lot of them were seen as, bad influence. Yeah, sure.
Although
Sabbath, they were terrified of. Sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Looking back on Kiss, though, on the stuff they did in the 70s, it doesn't really translate as
No,
scary.
it
Like
really
Manson,
doesn't.
you
Sure.
can watch and go like, okay, yeah, that's a fucking maniac.
Well, he's wearing
Kiss is
fucking
like,
thigh highs.
Yeah, he's showing his butt.
He's basically just Kiss in the 90s, wearing fucking makeup and fucking androgynous clothes.
cutting himself with glass. And
That's a little weird, yeah.
yeah. Doing.
Then again, they although Gene is too sober for that. I'm sure Marilyn.
Kiss were business people first.
They certainly were. Yeah.
Marilyn Manson was a maniac.
Peter and Ace were not. They
No,
were
yeah, that's
rock
right.
star mentality, and Ace was just getting high and fucking.
Do you like Kiss, Rob?
Kiss is all right.
Kiss sucks.
Ah,
You ever see Detroit Rock City?
no.
It's a great movie. Those little kids. that's where it's from. Those little kids in the convenience store. They're trying to go to Kiss, and these tiny little kids are just like, Kiss sucks.
I never saw that movie.
It's so good.
Is Kiss in it or no?
Very, very briefly.
Okay, I've never seen it. I mean,
It's about a bunch of dudes in the 70s in Detroit trying to get to a Kiss concert.
Oh.
I love it. Love that movie.
I would. Yeah, that sounds great, and I should see it
Yeah.
because I remember that. That era was I was a boy.
Yeah, well.
Loved it.
Did you see, speaking of guys that you're a fan of,
Sure.
did you see the interaction between Mike Tyson and Don King?
Yes, I did.
Isn't that great?
I love Mike.
That is real life. Mike is real life.
Yeah, he is. He's not good at faking it for TV, and
No.
he can't pretend he doesn't hate Don King's fucking guts for stealing millions, or at least he says he stole millions.
Mike Tyson works on his emotions. Like, that's where he comes from.
Yep.
He comes from a place of emotions. Because you a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah. Here he goes. He's Don King is walking by, and he pats Mike on the shoulder, and fucking Tyson throws a drink on him.
But you could see in Tyson's eyes.
Like, what, you fucking just pat me, motherfucker? Yeah.
Yeah, the audio is no good, but like they're at the Boxing Hall of Fame. Looks like Don King just gave some kind of a speech or something. They're all at the dais. Don King walks by Mike Tyson. He pats Tyson on the shoulder as if to say like, hey man, and Tyson gets this rage on his face. He says something to him. Don't fucking touch me. And then he picks up his water and he throws his water at Don King.
For Detroit to be recognized.
Oh, I got him.
Yeah, he's not fucking around.
What does he say right before he throws the water?
I was trying
You
to.
thirsty?
Oh, okay.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, I was trying to see.
I'd like to ask him what he say.
Well, he has an explanation.
Let's see.
here.
Oh, what did he say?
Do you want to watch it?
Detroit to be recognized.
Oh, I got him. I got
Oh
him.
yeah, let's see his explanation.
Yeah. Yeah, he actually, Jerry Cooney got the explanation from him for serious.
Did he?
Yeah, he's doing serious stuff. Although, I mean, I did watch the explanation, and it's kind of just Mike being like, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't, I acted out of anger, and I shouldn't have done that.
All right.
We can fast forward just a little.
Oh, now.
In your presence and the people around you, it's in awe, still like in the old days. Listen, a lot of great things happen for you in your life. We noticed last night at the Hall of Fame when you gave us a lot of anger with Don King. When he walked by, you threw some water at him. Was that him? What was that about?
That was me being immature. I shouldn't have done that.
No, you get it. He robbed us. They robbed us.
Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. But you know, he touched me. He tapped me on the shoulder, and that is just, I don't know.
Triggered it.
He talked on there like he was my friend. That was just bull crap. You know, he just I just shouldn't have did that because I just gotta get rid of my business. I let all that go.
Mike,
today is the day I let it go.
Mike, it's lucky that's all that you did was Phil Bless.
All right, we got about a minute left in the show.
Yeah, well, Cooney, Cooney's like he stole from us. Yeah, I mean, they all got to fucking have allegations against Don King.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm going to be at the Stress Factory tomorrow and Saturday. Again, tomorrow tickets for Houston on sale in October. I got a whole bunch of dates. Just go to my dumb website. You know where I'm going to be. If you want to see Chip, you know where Chip's going to be.
That's right. And I'll be on the WWE Network on Saturday and Sunday for the NXT TakeOver Chicago kickoff show and the Money in the Bank kickoff show. And yes, tune in Saturday and Sunday.
And there's also the new Chip animation is up. It was one we had done a while ago.
Right.
And it's now up, the Chip script. And maybe we'll do part 2 as well. But that's up in...
the Chip script.
Yeah, Chip script is now on. It's just Jim Norton's YouTube. I got like 7 or 8 animations there.
Go to YouTube/Jim Norton. Go to YouTube.
I don't know if it's /Jim Norton. I don't know which my YouTube page
Okay,
is.
well, search Jim Norton. Go to YouTube/NotSam, and you can check out all the show's videos at youtube.com/Jim and Sam Show. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Goodbye.